veins, I've been driving this train. Years in this lane, there's no stopping this flame. Cause I came to the game and I changed it to play how I like, rearranged it to my own domain. Yeah, I got what it takes, made lots of mistakes, taking shots, skipping breaks, feeling lost, feeling great, popping off, singing straight, never stopped, never changed. All the squad here to play, and I've got something to say, yeah. I work hard each and every day, I get lost in the words I say. I don't push pause, no I push play. I won't stop till I make a change. I withdraw on the things I make. I turn flaws into flawless traits. I build tall, never capped in space. I won't stop till I hear him say, oh, oh, la, 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 la. And I'm up again. I got tired eyes, need a cup of blend. That's right, in the AM, that's my only friend. No light, just the sun coming up on the horizon. I lose track of time, yeah, I move fast and climb a new class divine, yeah, true passion shines. And I'm through passing time, I choose stacking dimes. You snooze half the time while I move passing by. I work hard each and every day, I get lost in the words I say. I don't push pause, no I push play. I won't stop till I make a change. I withdraw on the things I make. I turn flaws into flawless traits. I build tall, never capped in space. I won't stop till I hear him say, oh, oh, la, 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 la. I've been driving this train, years in this lane, there's no stopping this flame. Cause I came to the game and I changed it to play how I like, rearranged it to my own domain. Yeah, I got what it takes, made lots of mistakes, taking shots, skipping breaks, feeling lost, feeling great, popping off, singing straight, never stopped, never changed. All the squad here to play, and I've got something to say, yeah. I work hard each and every day, I get lost in the words I say. I don't push pause, no I push play. I won't stop till I make a change. I withdraw on the things I make. I turn flaws into flawless traits. I build tall, never capped in space. I won't stop till I hear him say, oh, oh, la, 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 la. And I'm up again. I got tired eyes, need a cup of blend. That's right, in the AM, that's my only friend. No light, just the sun coming up on the horizon. I lose track of time, yeah, I move fast and climb a new class divine, yeah, true passion shines. And I'm through passing time, I choose stacking dimes. You snooze half the time while I move passing by. I work hard each and every day, I get lost in the words I say. I don't push pause, no I push play. I won't stop till I make a change. I withdraw on the things I make. I turn flaws into flawless traits. I build tall, never capped in space. I won't stop till I hear him say, oh, oh, la, 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 la. veins, I've been driving this train. Years in this lane, there's no stopping this flame. Cause I came to the game and I changed it to play how I like, rearranged it to my own domain. Yeah, I got what it takes, made lots of mistakes, taking shots, skipping breaks, feeling lost, feeling great, popping off, singing straight, never stopped, never changed. All the squad here to play, and I've got something to say, yeah. I work hard each and every day, I get lost in the words I say. I don't push pause, no I push play. I won't stop till I make a change. I withdraw on the things I make. I turn flaws into flawless traits. I build tall, never capped in space. I won't stop till I hear him say, oh, oh, la 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 la, la 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 la, oh, oh, and I'm up again. I got tired eyes, need a cup of blend. That's right, in the AM, that's my only friend. No light, just the sun coming up on the horizon. I lose track of time, yeah, I move fast and climb a new class divine, yeah, true passion shines. And I'm through passing time, I choose stacking dimes. You snooze half the time while I move passing by. I work hard each and every day, I get lost in the words I say. I don't push pause, no I push play. I won't stop till I make a change. I withdraw on the things I make. I turn flaws into flawless traits. I build tall, never capped in space. I won't stop till I hear him say, oh, oh, la 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 la, la 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 la, oh, oh, I've been driving this train, years in this lane, there's no stopping this flame. Cause I came to the game and I changed it to play how I like, rearranged it to my own domain. Yeah, I got what it takes, made lots of mistakes, taking shots, skipping breaks, feeling lost, feeling great, popping off, singing straight, never stopped, never changed. All the squad here to play, and I've got something to say, yeah. I work hard each and every day, I get lost in the words I say. I don't push pause, no I push play. I won't stop till I make a change. I withdraw on the things I make. I turn flaws into flawless traits. I build tall, never capped in space. I won't stop till I hear him say, oh, oh, la 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 la, la 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 la, oh, oh, and I'm up again. I got tired eyes, need a cup of blend. That's right, in the AM, that's my only friend. No light, just the sun coming up on the horizon. I lose track of time, yeah, I move fast and climb a new class divine, yeah, true passion shines. And I'm through passing time, I choose stacking dimes. You snooze half the time while I move passing by. I work hard each and every day, I get lost in the words I say. I don't push pause, no I push play. I won't stop till I make a change. I withdraw on the things I make. I turn flaws into flawless traits. I build tall, never capped in space. I won't stop till I hear him say, oh, oh, la 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 la, la 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 la, oh, oh, I've been driving this train, is in this lane, there's no stopping this flame. Cause I came to the game and I changed it to play how I like, rearranged it to my own domain. Yeah, I got what it takes, made lots of mistakes, taking shots, skipping breaks, feeling lost, feeling great, popping off, singing straight, never stopped, never changed. All the squad here to play, and I've got something to say, yeah. I work hard each and every day, I get lost in the words I say. I don't push pause, no, I push play. I won't stop till I make a change. I withdraw on the things I'm.
Yes, good people. Big up to all of you. And once again, welcome back to Just a Perspective. I do hope you're all doing well. I was going to say we are back, but no, I am back because if I say we are back, that would be contradicting the fact that Matt did a very good job. He did so well that it was difficult to say that I wasn't even available. He's a serious team player, knows the club very well, and did a very nice job. And you can say brought a different perspective to the way we approach our shows, and people liked it, but still kept it interactive. I couldn't be more proud. Matt was definitely the right person, and I think the partnership will go beyond him deputizing for me in my absence because he's a good host, intelligent individual, more importantly, and knows the game. But just by the way, today we're back. Well, I am back, not we didn't go anywhere because once again, I don't want to contradict the good job that Matt did. The fact that he did a good job. Today we have two shows lined up back to back. The first one will be this news. If nobody wants to come onto the panel, if that is, but if they ask for the link, I will give it to them. But if nobody wants to come in, I want the news aspect, the news part of the show to be very snappy, at most 45 minutes, so we can get on to Chelsea versus Manchester City. Build up. Us is an opener, the most important show of the day, but it's important that we cover some news items. We'll talk about Chiesa. None of us, or Chiesa, I don't know the correct pronunciation. A lot of people didn't know that we actually pushed it to do a swap deal with Juventus. That could have involved what's his name, Raheem Sterling, going the other way, and we getting Chiesa. Bencho was future. Joao Felix, Joao Felix, Joao Felix, and Joao Felix. And then we'll talk about Conor Gallagher. There aren't too many news items to discuss. If we get through it as quickly as possible, we end the show because we have a very, you can say, a marathon show coming up at the club build up to our game against Manchester City as is an opener for the season. Yeah, exactly. Nothing has changed that much except you could say a bit of an update to what you could say news we've been recycling. Ooh, my days. Look who's back. Yep, I am back. Not we, because if I say we, as I've said before, I will be contradicting the fact that Matt did a very good job. It didn't look as if it didn't seem as if we went. You can say I wasn't there. And Matt is a very good host. I'd say actually better than me. He's been doing it for a while. My bro, Jay, the 2 a.m. guy, is in the house. Yeah, I appreciate you finding the time to join the show this particular morning. And I do hope you're doing well. I missed you all, but I had to travel. And to be more specific, I had to travel for my mom's birthday in Africa, to be precise. It was enjoyable. I got to see a lot of people that I haven't seen in years. And Okunta de Benson, Abamio, nice to see you, Mr. Abamio. I do hope you're doing well. Away with Julius Cochilla, I assure you, we are winning. We are winning today. Up the Blues. I hope we do. I can't say uh, for certain what the outcome of the game is going to be, but I strongly do believe we'll give a very good account of ourselves. Bobby is in the house. I've sent it. Nice to see you, legendary. Bobby is in the house. Thank you for finding the time to join the show. Without wasting much of your time, we'll get into addressing the news items we have lined up here. Let me do this and do this. Give me 1 second here. I have to prepare the presentation window, entire window. Then we go for this one here, right here. There you go. But more importantly, people, I do hope you're all doing well, and I sincerely do mean that. If we're again, some of you that I haven't seen in a while, I hope the case is that you've been busy and that nothing wrong has happened on your hand, Coach. But wait, where you go before I go Africa? I travel go Niger through Abuja. Had I gone through Lagos. I think there are a lot of people there. There were people there, still there, that I would have loved to meet one on one. Big up to you too, AB. Nice to see you. Thank you so much. I appreciate you all. It was a good one for my mom. I enjoyed it, and once again, I got to see a lot of people that I haven't seen in a while. So without wasting much of your time, as you must have heard, we have two shows back-to-back shows lined up. One to cover the news items as quickly as possible, breeze through the news items we have lined up, and then move on to the match build up show. You could call it match preview, where we'll try as quickly as possible to predict the lineup before the lineup comes out. We have a total of 105 people watching, but only 26 of those on YouTube, the rest on X. We appreciate you all. Thank you. Thank you so much for joining. And to those of you that are following the show on X, we appreciate you. But we want to ask you for one favor, one tiny bitty favor, which is to take a second and drop a like on the stream for us on X, and also follow our X account to help us grow. That way, whenever we go live, you're not going to miss it. And if you don't mind, come join us here on YouTube. Subscribe to the channel. If you're a student, you get to win $50. Get a chance to win at least $50 every month if you're a student. So thank you all. 31 people right now on X, 26 likes. Let's get the likes up. What else do we have here? And Jay's in the house here. Coach, I've got a very good feeling about today in particular and the season in general. In the season in general, I'm optimistic. Honestly, I think we'll finish the season better than a lot of people expect us to do, and I believe we'll finish in top four. Maybe do even better than that. Especially if we get Osimhen, even though he's not my first choice. But with Joao Felix alone, he's an excellent finisher. I know a lot of people don't pay attention to that. Finishing for him isn't about power; it's about placement. He's an intelligent footballer, and a lot of people don't give him credit for, you can say, the sort of talent he is. And he's mature. He's 24, so he's very experienced. And I love the fact that we will get the deal over the line, except if anything redonkulous, not even ridiculous, happens between today. Happens today, maybe, because I'm expecting to hear, here we go. Yeah, I think you have every right to feel that way. Without wasting much of your time, we will start addressing the items we have lined up. And as I promised, we will try to breeze through the items as quickly as possible so we can get into the main, you could say, get into the match build up show, which comes immediately after this one. And as a matter of fact, the moment this ends, you will be redirected to the other show, so you can drop a like there or maybe wait for it. But let's get into it. And once again, before we go ahead, I'd like to say a big thank you to Matt. He's proven to be more than just a friend who helped me a lot when Chelsea Perspective was launched, and then it became a we. It was I at the time. When it became a community, he was still there to always contribute, advise me on what to do, especially when I was into using music when editing videos. I used music, and he was the first to tell me to tone down the. If I'm going to use music in the background, it should be a bit low and all that. You can say good advice from him, and I've always kept in touch, knowing that I really deep down have always wanted to partner with him, and I hope it works out. But thank you. Bobby has joined us on the panel where we're gonna get to talking about the show, the game today, our season opener, immediately after this particular show. But we're here to address the news items out there so that we can be all caught up before we get into the match preview show. And when we get into that show in particular, it'll be all about the show, except if anything new emerges, like here we go for Joao Felix or Romelu Lukaku or any other player. So the first item here talks about two other Premier Leagues had inquired about Conor Gallagher's availability since talks with Aston Villa ended in his what's best for him would be to join Atletico Madrid, get to play week in, week out, and not be concerned about his place in the team. And that's again, I'm glad he's made that decision. But people outside judge, see things differently, blaming the club for the situation. And we learned that the club had offers, had presented him with again a much improved offer on two occasions that he refused, and I don't blame him. Maybe he's looked at the squad and felt like, given the manager's approach, just like a lot of us see the situation, that he's not going to get to play week in week out, and he'd be better at moving overseas, and has decided to do moving elsewhere, and he's decided to do that. And if we're to believe this particular report, yeah, he still respects the club, which means there's no bad blood. But we as outsiders, we are interpret whatever that's going on as we deem fit, or maybe as it fits our narrative. But quickly, I want to bring on Bobby. As I said, I'd like us to quickly breeze through the news items and get to the next show that comes out immediately after this, so we can talk about our season opener. Thank you so much, Hope Niger. It was great. It was great to meet a lot of but I'm not going to talk about that here. Bobby, welcome to the show. I appreciate you finding the time to join me on the panel. Let's hear your thoughts. Conor Gallagher, you can say loyal to the end. If we're to believe the fact, I don't know whether to trust Leon Twomey or not, of the Athletic. Yeah, I think I appreciate the fact that he didn't want to join London rivals, and chances are, not London rivals, Premier League rivals, probably. I believe they'd be willing to pay him a lot more than Atletico Madrid would be. Maybe that's just my opinion, but let's hear your thoughts. The fact that, yeah, he's seeing things that way, Bobby.
Coach,
Yeah, Bobby.
can you hear me?
Yeah,
Big up, Coach. Yeah, welcome back. Welcome back. I had to join to welcome you back.
thank-
And you've been breaking up a lot. I can't. Can you hear me?
yeah, I can hear you crystal clear. Go ahead. I was
Oh,
waiting
right.
for you. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, I mean, what can we say? The current situation, the whole Osimhen Lukaku saga, and the Joao Felix Gallagher saga. I've kind of been keeping out of it, to be honest. There's a lot of inter-club politics at play and financial fair play issues, and it looks to me that the one that seems to be more likely to reach a conclusion in terms of completion is indeed the Joao Felix Gallagher situation. Osimhen, I'm still not sure. I'm still not sure. I don't know, do we actually even need him? That's another question. Um, it really is a an interesting transfer dilemma. Let's put it that way.
Yeah. In the case, again, in Osimhen's case, in my opinion, I'd say he's not a make or break sign. I'm one of those that feel like signing Osimhen is not you can say wouldn't break or make our season. Uh, but if we sign him good, I think he complements the profile of number nines we have, or attacking players we have, in case we want to mix things up. And the way it's going, I think we'll end up not paying as much money as a lot of people expect us to pay for him. I think it's become a game of chess between Napoli and Chelsea, maybe PSG, but I'm not too sure. I've said this before. I've said this before. I'm not too sure Osimhen is the profile of number nine that I know Luis Enrique would want in his team, given the way he likes to approach the game. The same argument I made, you can say, in our case, when we were pushing to sign Romelu Lukaku, I was concerned at the time. Lucho, most especially, I don't think he would want him. I get it. Gonzalo Ramos is now injured. Even at that, he still has Kolo Muani. I think one more. That sort of profile of number nine. I don't think he'd be that keen to sign Osimhen, except if if it's going to be a board signing, what we call board signing, which you could say the correct term for it, if the hierarchy wants him and not necessarily the manager, that may well be the case. But I think, yeah, I don't think he's suitable to the way I know Luis Enrique would want to play. But that's my opinion. Go ahead if you were still speaking, Bobby.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, this is one that I'm sat on the fence. I don't know. I really don't. I'll leave it to the sporting directors who are meant to know. I'm not sure we need him. I'm not sure exactly how good he is. We've got to be careful of hype at a cost. We're trying to get rid of hype at a cost in Lukaku. Um, these are things that can damage a good uh, uh, a good what do you call a good dressing room. So I just don't know. I'm not totally convinced. I'm not totally convinced, and that's the concern I have. As soon as I heard of Pedro Neto, I was excited. I'm 100% that that is what we need and want. But talking about Osimhen, it's a funny one. He might come here and end up being another DJ Drogba, which would be wonderful. But he might come here and bring a whole heap of problems and not score, especially now that he's not had a pre-season. He's been training on his own. He's never played in the Premier League before. That's going to be very difficult. It's a gamble. It really is.
Yeah, it is a gamble indeed, and Chelsea fans, we don't know how to be patient. If it comes, irrespective of whether we get him cheaper than you can say the initially quoted price tag, I think we'll still be expecting him to score 20 plus goals per season. Not minding the fact that the manager's approach wouldn't necessarily allow him to do that. But we'll see what happens. It's just my opinion anyway. But people, thank you once again for finding the time to join us. Keep dropping the likes on the stream. The likes do go a long way. I'll get back to you guys in a bit. We'll try to breeze through the news items we have lined up so that we can get to the match preview exercise proper. That's the plan for the day. Let's go back to the presentation window. Give me 1 second here. Okay, we go back to the next news item. More of Joao Felix, and we will be you could say go searching for new news items on Vincent's page, his my bro, and yep, I started to trust him even more. We've addressed this, and when we move on to this particular item here, says that today. That was yesterday. Chelsea and Atletico Madrid have been able to advance to the final stages for Joao Felix to go back to Chelsea and for Gallagher to go to Atletico Madrid. So if we're here we go for Joao Felix. Joao Felix, most certainly, Gallagher will be headed the other direction. They are really working on the final details of the story. There's something new that emerged today, and we'll get to that in a bit. Ooh, nice to see you. Happy Sunday to you too. I appreciate you finding the time to join the show. And the Prince is here. The Prince says, big up, Kuchula. Happy Sunday to Chelsea family. I wish Chelsea could win Man City, but I don't think we are ready for this match. And I will be happy if they prove me wrong and pundits wrong. Let's see. We're the underdogs in this one, and that's a good thing. Chelsea delaying the announcement of Joao Felix after the game of Man City. If we lose, they bring in a new player. Yeah, I think I see somebody say that on X. That is just a conspiracy theory. You could say that sounds believable. That is, if you're into that, for me, it's nothing. They haven't reached an agreement yet, but they're getting closer and closer. Good morning to you, to Chelsea Ultra. Nice to see you. I hope you're doing well. Okay. Pep have started mind games by saying Enzo needs time, and that's the truth. In fact, that's in fact the truth. And the man is so confident of winning this match, and I will be happy if Chelsea win this match. Maybe he is confident on winning this match, but I don't think he'll be that confident because he trusted Enzo Maresca well enough to again to accommodate him as his second when he worked under him for 2 seasons, I think. So he probably knows, yeah, he's capable of beating him on a good day. In my opinion, we have plenty of attacking talent. Osimhen would put the cherry on the top, but I am still extremely worried about our defense and goalkeeper. I think you're going by the games we lost during preseason, what we saw when the manager was experimenting, would be probably be surprised. The center back pairing, I think, will surprise a lot of people today. By the time we see the lineup, Osimhen isn't a gamble anymore. He has Joao Felix and Pedro Neto to feed them. It depends on how you want to utilize Joao Felix. He can play on the flanks given his attributes. Osimhen is a fighter, which will presently lack. We presently, okay, lack his quality in this team, but notwithstanding, it's all good. Again, if it doesn't work out, but the Prince, nice to see you. So after this particular report, there's a follow-up
I like
report.
that angle. I like
Yeah,
that
go ahead.
angle.
Mhm.
I like that context. Somebody saying he's a fighter and it's what we lack. I do have my eye on the physicality of things. I was
I'd be
a
shocked
little.
if you don't, Bobby.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. You know, that's the Premier League. You know, I was a little bit disappointed to see Leslie Ugochukwu go on loan. I saw him in pre-season, then I saw him in the flesh against Inter. He's a difference maker, very good on the ball. He can score goals, ball winner. He is a very, very good player. He's young, he's still developing. He would fit into the squad, especially now. However, they've chosen, in order to trim down club's squad size, to send him on loan. Okay, fair enough. If he can develop even further, it's even more beneficial. That midfield battle is going to be fierce because that kid should not be pushed aside for anybody at the moment. Lavia, great. He's great. Caicedo, he's living on his price tag at the moment because he always takes a while to warm up. And these kids are really
That's an
at this.
excellent observation, by the way. He takes a while to warm up, indeed.
Yeah, and these kids are hot on his coattails. Look, I like Mark Yu. He has fight, he has endeavor, he has an eye for goal, and he's in development. You know, he's good for the squad. But you know, would he be that number one? Now he's somebody we need to be patient with. However, if Osimhen is this fighter, I know he certainly has got the physicality. It wouldn't go amiss because we do need that. We do need that in the squad. We've got a lot of little players yet again that we're bringing in. Joao Felix, Pedro Neto, they're good, but when the boots start flying and you know the strong barges start coming in, they're not going to be the ones we look to. That's where we're going to miss people like Gallagher and so on. But hey, look, let's see what happens. As I've said, I'm on the fence about Osimhen. I'm very interested watching and listening to what people say, because I can't say I'm so knowledgeable in about him that I can really make an objective decision. By the way, can I just pivot to something else really quickly,
Yeah, go ahead.
if that's okay, because it's all within what's topical. Ben Chilwell.
Oh, yeah.
I
I think we have that lined up. Let's not give it away.
okay.
Yeah, we'll get to that in a bit, and I'll have you start on that particular topic. I know you've been preaching that, and I think the owners just did what you've been preaching. But they're still showing him some respect given his character. But we get to that in a
I,
bit if you don't mind, Bobby.
I just to quickly caveat,
Mhm.
I'm speaking practically, not what I actually want, but what is business and practical
What
sense.
makes
As you
business
said,
sense? Yeah.
yeah, as you
Yeah,
said,
but
we'll
we'll get to
discuss
that
it.
in a bit, if you don't mind. And just quickly, I want to say something you said about the good Chiku. I think what we learned during preseason is that he just needs to play. He just needs to play to show the sort of form he showed when he played against the likes of Messi and Neymar in France. he needs to play. And Chelsea is in that place where there's space for him to play week in, week out and continue developing. And at 20, he needs a lot of playing time. And I'm quite sure the hierarchy wouldn't let him go on loan to any club where he wouldn't play and continue developing. I think that probably that's guaranteed in that loan at Southampton. He didn't, of course, he didn't play their first game, rightly so. He just joined them, would need to trend more to get a chance to play week in, week out. So I'm happy he's gone out on loan. I wouldn't have liked him staying and only get to play every now and then. I think his case isn't that different with that of Andreas Santos. As good as we know he can be, as good as he proved that he can be in France, it wouldn't make sense to keep him if he's not going to be playing week in, week out. And if he proves he can be better than any of the midfielders we have, when he comes back, then we'd have no option than to accommodate him and sell one of the midfielders that we've seen that clearly he's better than. So Gochuku, I see it the same way. I'm not going to complain. And Chelsea are trying, and we're wearing good in defense and goalkeeper all of last season, and we're not improved either at all. I think you're going by what you saw during preseason, which I've talked about, saying the manager experimented a lot, and we're not too sure which centre-back pairings he's going to use, but he knows. I think a lot of people will be shocked today. Learning Ugochukwu is a terrible mistake. What happens when Lavia gets injured? And what happens when Lavia gets injured and Ugochukwu, he hasn't played that much and then comes on and a bit rusty, you will still be one of them will start saying he's not good enough for Chelsea. So I'd rather him be ready. And I think we have enough numbers. If Lavia gets injured, then Casado starts central. And we still have Dewsbury Hall, who can play as one of the 2-8s flanking the number 6 in a 4-3-3 structure. So I'm not complaining. We have enough numbers there. Honestly, let's see. But nice to see you, Mark and Newman. I hope you're doing well. Good to see you too, Tobias. I hope you're doing well. Felix and Osimhen is a dream. I hope to see that. And I hope I hope it goes well with the signing of Joao Felix. It will definitely go well. His loan stint at Chelsea wasn't bad. It wasn't bad, honestly. And I think people just started, you could say, the agenda that suits, you could say, their support of the manager at the time who didn't want him. And that was shocking to me. If anything, I was only arguing at the time that due to the asking price at the time, that we're not going to sign him. I also hope the defense is good enough in the game against City. Well, let's see what happens. The defense starts from the midfield. Big up to you too, Julius Amo. Nice to see you. Big up, always nice to see you, my Ghanaian bro. Big up to you too, Mark and Neum. Constantine Don. Big up to you, Dante. I hope you're doing well. I appreciate you. We have 39 likes, 63 people following the show on YouTube, and a total of 176 people. More than 50%. No, around 50% on YouTube, 50 on X. If you're following the show on X, do us a favor, a tiny bit of favor. Take a second, drop a like on the video, share with other people, and follow our X account. The plan is to breeze through the news items we have lined up and switch to the next show where we get to preview the game. Hopefully, we still have the time to go through the lineup exercise, prediction exercise before the lineup comes up. But we have a Constantine Dante in the house, and I want to hear from him, even though I don't like him. Dante, welcome to the panel. You've heard us talk about Conor Gallagher. In my opinion, if we're to believe the report that he actually was again. He had offers from Premier League clubs, but didn't want to join Chelsea's Premier League rivals. To me, that's loyalty. To me, that shows he's just doing what's best for his career, and no bad blood between him and the club. But people, especially some big accounts, using languages that depict the club as not being fair to the player, treating him badly and all that. Some bringing racial discrimination. No, not his case. I think Chaloba's case, they brought in racial discrimination talks into it. But in Gallagher's case, they said they were maltreating him and all that, blah, 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 blah. But that's by the way. And then now we're talking about, the fact that Chelsea and Atletico Madrid are close to a breakthrough over Joao Felix for £38.3 million, including add-ons. That's some deal. That's some bargain. We're talking about a 100 million pounds player or euros player, if you want. Barcelona wanted them. They wanted to keep him, but they just, their financial situation, and we're getting him at this price, irrespective of whether you think it's a street swap. It doesn't matter. This is a serious bargain. More like acquiring an asset that if it ends up not working for you, you can sell it for a bigger fee. But I think he will succeed at Chelsea. Let's hear you. Whatever you want to comment, you have the floor, Dante. Nice to see you once again.
Yeah, big up, coach.
Big
Welcome
up to
back.
you, too.
Good to
Thank you.
see you back again.
Much
Um,
appreciated, bro.
yeah, Matt did a great job while you were away, so you won't miss that much. So yeah,
Yeah, I did say that. Yeah, if I say we are back, it would seem as if we went away. So the most
yeah,
correct
you
way
could
to
have
put
taken
it would
another
be
couple of weeks, no problem. Just take another couple of weeks.
go ahead, brother. Go ahead.
Yeah, coach. Yeah, great to have you back. Yeah, look, Bob, big up Bobby, and big up everyone in the chat as well. Yeah, this price keeps
Yeah,
changing,
big up,
doesn't it?
Dante.
It just keeps changing this price. One day it's 40, one day it's 45, one day it's 50, one day it's 35, and now 38.3 to be exact. Okay. So we'll see when it comes out. If it is that price, yeah, that's pretty good. It's a bit hard to turn down that price because that's pretty much almost a straight swap with Gallagher, really. So um yeah, look, I'm not a big fan of Felix. He's a very technical player, great dribbler, amazing dribbler, actually. Just that final end product usually is not, he holds the ball a bit too much. He's a flashy player. He's one of those luxury players you have on top of a good squad that can come off maybe the bench and help out a bit and do stuff like that. But look, for that price, and if it's the only way we're getting rid of Gallagher, it's probably a fair deal, pretty fair. Like you said, I think he was 125 million euros. I'm pretty sure he was very, very expensive when
You
they
mean
bought
how
him.
much
So
Atleti paid for him around that price?
yeah, look, they paid a lot for him, but he didn't fit there. He didn't fit. He didn't fit there. He hasn't fit anywhere where he's played. To be honest, he's always been, like I said, one of those players that's a bit frustrating where he hasn't really got a position, but you want to put him trying him some other positions and you don't know. Yeah, he's been like that all his career. So he's a bit like just like how Kai Havertz was a little bit. But yeah,
But
obviously 10
I
times more
take him
technical.
over Kai Havertz. You know he's good
Yeah,
everywhere too.
yeah. Look, he's very technical, which is great. Can hold the ball up, but yeah, that can be a problem too because he holds the ball up too much, takes extra dribbles, likes to play around with the ball. But yeah, look, the coach he's got to have to obviously get that out of him and make sure. Look, he's matured a bit. He's a little bit older now. He's 24. It seems like he's been around forever, but he's actually only 24, so he's still quite young. Hopefully, that's helped a bit. He did pretty well at Barcelona last season, but they can't keep him. They can't afford him to buy him or keep him, so they couldn't keep him.
Hansi Flick would have loved to keep him.
Yeah, well,
If
look, they
you
got
remember,
Danny Olmo
yeah,
in
if you
replacement,
remember,
so they
if you
probably
remember
could have.
what, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, they probably could have kept him because they paid that much for Olmo, even more. So they had the money to keep him, but they chose not to again. So yeah, look, it depends again. Like I said, he's one of those luxury players that you put on top if you really, really need him.
Mhm.
Do we really, really need him? If Pedro Neto didn't come in, I say maybe, but with
I,
Neto
I
coming
was
in,
saying
and
Barcelona have no money. They can't even register Danny Olmo. They can't keep anybody.
yeah, we
They
know
are
that, Bobby,
broke.
but they will register him. It will get done.
Here's what happened. I remember. What happened was that they didn't they say goodbye to them and then turned around and said they're staying. I think they were probably at the time weren't too sure if they'd be able to afford him staying. I think it was him and one other player. Who was it at the time?
Uh,
Was
Cancelo, I
it?
can't
I think
remember.
it was a Manchester City player who was on
Cancelo,
loan.
yeah,
Yeah.
Cancelo.
So they weren't too sure what to do with them. And currently, the other guy, the left back, correct me if I'm wrong, he's still at City. And Pep is saying he can stay because he's a good player. I think he had attitude issue. But that's by the way,
Yeah,
Bobby, were you saying something?
off-field issues. Yeah.
No, I was saying that this is why Barca have been selling. I think it's partly why they sold Gui, and I think they've got another couple lined up to sell before they can register Danny Olmo. So any illusion that Barcelona have any money to spend is just that is delusional. They've completely mortgaged themselves with their financial levers, unless their accountants can come up with something more magical on the financial stage, where they seem to get away with it without scrutiny. Whereas if Chelsea do anything within the rules, everybody says that they are bending the rules or acting. Oh yeah, the word is finding loopholes. Well, the loophole kings is Barca. I have no respect for that club. I hate it when people speak of them in high terms because the way they've conducted themselves has been very unethical, just like Man City.
I mean,
Yep.
That's what I have to
automatically,
say.
a lot of Chelsea fans do hate Barca.
Can't
Go ahead,
stand
Dante.
them.
Were you saying something?
Yeah, well, we've got a rivalry with them, so of course, a lot of our fans, a
Hmm.
lot of us, we don't like them too much. So, look, that it doesn't matter who we like, what we if we don't like, they still got Daniel Olmo, and they got him for a much bigger price as well than Felix. So that tells you they could have kept Felix if they wanted to. They could have kept him. So,
I mean, it
if
depends
they
on
really
their
wanted
priority.
him, they could have bought
It
him.
depends on their priority.
Exactly, but I'm just saying they had them. They're gonna they will register him because they will. They're waiting for another sale. They will, and they paid how much? Nearly 50 for him. So, um, look, they obviously saw Daniel Olmo as a better player than Felix, much better to fit what they wanted. So they didn't choose,
Again,
but they could
that's
have
your
kept him if they
opinion.
really, really loved him. They would have kept him.
That's your opinion. I mean, if you get my point, but go ahead.
Yep, yep. Well, Danny Olmo's, yeah, he had an amazing, obviously, Euros as well. So, yep, yeah, they like his style, but they play pretty much the same position in behind. So, yeah. Anyway, doesn't let's move on from that. Yeah, look, it's a good deal. If we can get it for that cheap, we might as well take it. If it's only a way of getting rid of Gallagher, I think that's
Mhm.
probably right up there. That's one of
There
the
you
reasons.
go, agenda man.
Yeah, I'm a agenda man against Gallagher. So, look, it's a good deal for both. It should be good for both. We need the depth. It's never a bad thing to have the depth and the quality. As long as he's happy to, not start every game and no complaints, salary is good, which apparently he's agreed to a lower salary, then yeah, that's fine. And he really wants to come here, so he wants to come back and that's amazing. That's a plus. You want a player like that?
That's a
He's
huge
been
plus. Yeah.
here, yeah, he loves it here and he wants to come back. So that's a huge bonus because he actually wants to be here and wants to come back and prove himself more again. So yeah. So I have no problem with that. I just didn't want us paying like, 50, 60 million for him. It would have been made no sense for us to pay that much for him.
I think the price at which we're getting him for, I think it's one of the main reason why we're moving ahead with it, and I think it makes sense. If you want to see it, him as a good asset to have that you can make a lot of money from selling. If in the future you feel like, yeah, we just want to flip him for profit, it works. But I think he will do well at Chelsea. Just remember, I told you that. I know you don't. You haven't said he's a bad player, but you'd rather we sign
Yeah.
certain players than him. But for me, I think he will do well. He's a goal scorer. He can create too. And those aspects of his game that you mentioned, him dwelling on the ball too much, is something that the manager can do something about, in my opinion. But that's, by the way, people. We'll have 204 people following the show, 80 of those on YouTube, the rest on X. That's more than 50% on X. And if you're following the show on X, we appreciate you because you watching the show alone does go along with for us. But we want to ask you for one favor, one tiny bitty favor, which is to take a second to like the video, share the video, and also follow our X account. That way, when we go live, you'd be notified and you're not going to miss anything. And if you can come join us on YouTube, you get a chance to win at least a $50 every month. We appreciate you. Thank you, people, for 50 likes. Let's try and get it to 100. We'll be rounding up the news show very soon because we have two shows lined up back to back, and we want to start the other show on time so that we can get done with the lineup prediction exercise by the time the lineup comes out. Whether we'd still make that, I think it's still very, very uh, possible. And Jay is saying, I am listening to the show and not looking. And this scared me. It's the name of one of the community members. And I like to say his name. Nacho, nice to see you. Chelsea fans are ready for the beatdown. You were lucky. I think you guys got lucky against, was it Fulham? Was it Fulham? I think it was Fulham, actually. You guys were lucky. They got a lot of, chances, but probably confused, maybe not too sure what to do with it. Yeah, speak with them. Says the guy who has Anthony at this club. Yeah, what the signing that is for 100 million pounds. Gundogan is expected to leave Barca. He wants to leave. Probably, yeah, maybe to Saudi Arabia. A lot of money for him. Um, You're back. I really miss you. So glad to see you back. Atletico Mountains. I think Matt did a very good job. I love him so much, and I trust him. Wow. I wouldn't say, it wouldn't be okay to say, yeah. We are back. No, we didn't go anywhere. I am back as an individual, but the show went on in my absence, and it was good. Chelsea should get Osimhen and Felix for me. Let's see what happens there. Big up to you too, IB. Nice to see you once again. Tiger the Beast. Nice to see. That's now how a conclusion can be made. That's yeah, okay, Dante. That's for you. He's like a luxury car. You don't buy those for day-to-day transport. You don't buy him for a system or to depend on him solely. But if you are a lover of the beauty of the game and nutmegs, you love him. I think he will come in handy against low blocks. If anybody, if he with the likes of a Cole Palmer and Kunku, you guys will regret saying all these things. RGN Ngale, nice to see you, Mr. Ngale. I hope you're doing well. Imagine, okay, how it could be when the player's dream come true. That is the case with Osimhen. I believe he's going to bring a lot of qualities to our present crops. And his thing, irrespective of his dream of playing for Chelsea or him idolizing Chelsea legend Didier Drogba, if we cannot meet his salary demands or at least come closer to it, he's not coming. It's a business for all parties involved. He put aside his love for the club and think, first and foremost, are we going to meet his salary demands or at least come close to it, or maybe some sort of agreement that he comes in, if he performs well, he gets what he's asking for, which we do these days. So they could keep Messi, but they let him go because they didn't need him. Makes sense. That's another way to see it. As for reports, Osimhen talks are cold until Felix is announced and sales are made. Possibly, I'm not sure what to believe right now. Felix would have costed Barca. It have cost Barca more than Olmo. We're getting him at such price due to Gallagher, yeah, being involved in the deal. Then they see Gallagher, you could say, as a good deal too. Felix thinks he's Ronaldo when he's not even close. I think he's different. He's different. Ronaldo is more of a power player. Felix is more about finesse. Yeah, I think I'm quite sure I'm correct with that. Nemaya Fowler, nice to see you. Here we go, incoming. Big up to you too, Nemaya. I hope you're doing well. Our owners, let's just Frederick agree, okay, are doing something attractive, and we are waiting for the icing on the cake in the in the player of Osimhen Carbon Blues. It could happen, but you can. I'm not gonna hold my breath and that happen. Gyökeres might come. I'm not too sure, but we'll see. For me, Felix is a better player than Olmo. It depends on who you ask. And I don't like Dante, so that's why I was arguing with him. Ooh, Chelsea has a lot of good players in the team. Let's see how Coach Enzo Maresca works on the boys and gives us a fantastic season. And one thing I'm going to say quickly is this: it's again refreshing to learn that he's not bent on using a particular approach. He's always evolving, according to one of his former players. He changes things based on the team. We have three different ways of pressing, and that's encouraging, really. PSG might get Gyökeres. I think they probably prefer Gyökeres over Osimhen, in my opinion. But that's just me. We move on from this. The next item, I remember we're trying to round off the news show so we can get onto the match preview show as soon as possible. Dante, we did see this one coming, didn't we? But I want to start with Bobby as promised. So Bobby has always talked about how his injury, it's a serious issue, and it's common sense to know before this happens. For a multitude of reasons, he's hardly ever fit. And for 3 seasons, he's played just a 40 plus games. I think so. Correct me if I'm wrong. And yeah, the fact that his you could say his overall skill set and you could argue isn't suitable to the way the manager likes up to approach the game. We saw this coming. We did talk about this to an extent, some exchange with a certain individual. We knew this was going to happen. So this reads, a bench well set to leave Chelsea, as Maresca has confirmed. It's probably better he goes and leaves and finds a minutes. I think he's being respectful to him, given his character and the fact that he's one of the leaders at the club currently. I love the way he is. The problem is that he is struggling to find the right position, and he's not like Mauricio Pochettino that says, okay, probably because of his experience and that, let's play him in the in the win back role, which a lot of people didn't like at the time. Chile is gone, definitely. We saw this coming. One thing I'm sure about is that Chelsea is winning Man City today by 2 goals to nothing. Basil Nwabweze, I like your name just because I know the meaning. Your last name. Dante. Early with the Joao Felix hates
Yeah,
agenda.
big up, Mike. Yeah.
Bobby, let's hear your opinion on the bench situation. But before you go ahead, Jay saying, Coach, remember when the chat targeted me when I said, sure, well, it's not in Chelsea's future. Yep, you did say it. And a lot of us realize, again, early, even before Maresca started working, that, yeah, he's probably will end up being one of the losers. But let's hear you, Bobby, your opinion on the bench situation. Not even a
Yeah,
situation,
this this
or case,
this
maybe.
this is very important in that. And one thing I want to make very clear before I really land is that a fit and healthy Ben Chilwell is a wonderful player. You know, his performance in the Champions League final, our second Champions League victory in Porto, will be always part of Chelsea folklore, among others. His when he was fit with on the left with a fit Reece James on the right, Chelsea were at the peak of their powers in the Tuchel era. We can all remember the 4-0 devastation of Juventus at Stamford Bridge. Those two absolutely tore them apart. It was a display of football that you really have to go some to rival it. I'm including performances against Real Madrid and so on. You know, Chilwell is an excellent player. However, you are saying that in 3 seasons he's played little over 40 games. I beg to differ. In 3 seasons, he's played little over 30 games. His best
Oh, a lot
season
less than I
was
mentioned.
Yes. His best season was that Champions League 2020-21 season where he played about 15 games. After that, you'll be shocked to hear that I think there's a season he played as little as 4 games. Ben Chilwell, through no fault of his own, because history is full of fantastic players, English players that injury has blighted their careers. I'm talking of Jack Wilshere of Arsenal, wonderful midfielder, totally injury prone, never really got over it. Going further back, you look at the likes of Jamie Redknapp. I think Jamie Redknapp was probably one of the best midfielders on the ball in the world. His knees were biscuits, never got over it. The list continues. Michael Owen, when he was a kid, he was brilliant. As he got older, his hamstrings couldn't take his blistering pace, never got over it. I think Ben Chilwell's final injury was the ACL. He has never been the same. He's never been able to stay fit. He can't play back to back games. The issue here is more than the Maresca system. The Maresca system is a good public excuse to keep up his value, but I think he went an
That's deep,
injury.
Bobby. That never occurred to me.
Well, I try to think outside the box and I try to look at these things as comprehensively as I believe I'm capable of or I can. Now, the reality of this is that his last injury, just when the club started feeling they could rely on him, he went to an England call up. Southgate nobbled him by playing him back to back in stupid games. He came back and he broke down. That really showed the club, look, we need to do something about this. Now, he may have got away with it as the vice captain if he was not on such astronomical wages. The club has done fantastically to reduce a wage bill of, I think you even said it here on this platform, something like 200 million or something, 200,000 a week down to about 60K a week. And they want to keep it trimmed because they're using performance enhanced wages, just like they did with Cole Palmer, and eventually the wage bill will creep up to a point. But they're very clever about this because the algorithm salary cap will reduce that point with which it can creep up, and that's coming in next season, just as the 70% PSR revenue has started this season, which is why clubs are not spendthrifting so crazily everywhere. So they know that they need to get this under good control, and they don't want somebody starting at that 250 or is it 225K a week mark. Where is his increments going to end? In the end, he could go through 300 and so. Now, they may stomach it if he's like I'm coming to Reece James, but if he's of that potential, or they may stomach it if he's a regular or he's fit like Gallagher was. But this, that they can't trust him, this guy, you can't trust him beyond October. October, bang, he's gone. November, if you're lucky, he's gone till you don't see him again till about the end of May. You know, we can't keep doing this. He's earning too much money. And the practical side of it all would be to try and disengage. Trouble is, now that we've got our Renato Vegas, Cucurella has now found a new position. I don't believe they could not convert Ben Chilwell if he was fit enough. It's just they don't trust him for the season, and rightly so. He's too expensive. That's just the reality. Trouble is, who's going to buy him? Now, we're all, I was on a platform yesterday. Somebody was saying, oh, well, you can be sure that someone like Man United will have an injury and then they'll reach out and get him. Okay, it's all ifs and buts, but none of these people are stupid. They know his injury record. Nobody really wants to pay those wages for a player that you can't really trust. Okay, if there is an injury and he comes in as a bit part, fine, they might do it. But he himself might think, well, what's the point of this? Unless Chelsea completely freeze me out, I may as well warm the bench here than just go over somewhere else for the same wages and outside of a town that I'm settled and comfortable in, to do the
Yeah.
exact same thing. So it's a dicey one.
That's when that's if you don't mind, Bobby, that's when you start hearing I want to stay and fight for my place. But we understand what that means.
Exactly, the whole Raheem Sterling thing. Although
Yeah.
Raheem is actually playing, and to be fair to Raheem, he's a more fitter prospect. So, and he at least can come off the bench occasionally and do something a little bit different. Even though when he gets in front of goal, he balloons it to Rosette. But that's another topic. So this whole Ben Chilwell conundrum is that I think he's going to be completely frozen out. They've lost faith in him. They've lost faith in him because of his injury record. It's nothing to do with him, just as the manager says. Ben Chilwell is a lovely guy. He's a good vice captain when fit. But what's the point in having a vice captain that's never there? Now, this also gives me concern for Reece James. If Reece James goes off on another long injury, to be honest, I'm worried, for his Chelsea career. I'm worried. There's no point. You know what I mean? With those wages, you're not there. So what's the point? Even if you are the best player, we want the best player available. We don't want to be hearing about him on the injury table. So I don't want that to happen. I want him to. Maresca is not stupid. He knows he has to manage these players. But I was deeply concerned. We all saw Reece James in pre-season, how cautious he was. And when he decided to stretch his legs and do what he does, like that last ditch tackle in the box against Vinicius Jr., and all the twisting and turning that he was arresting from Vinicius Jr., what happens? Straight after that, we start hearing Reece James has a problem, which tells me that even post surgery, Can we really trust that he can ever be that guy he was? I don't know. Time will tell. But as for Ben Chilwell, I think the knell has told. It's done. Unless the way forward for him will be to go somewhere else and be that bit part player to elongate his career, because he's always going to pull up short in a brutal Premier League season with injury. If he doesn't, then the question will be asked, well, what were you doing when you were at Chelsea? And, that will be very sad. So, I don't know where this ends. I don't know how this is going to go. Will Newcastle look at him? Maybe. Will Man United look at him? Maybe. In England, they're the only two people I can think of that could use him or afford his wages. Newcastle is under very, very limited PSR conditions. I know people like to look at the country that owns them and all that, but that has no bearing on the football team and the regulatory
You're
climate
not
in which
allowed to
they
spend as
operate.
you wish.
Exactly. And
Mm.
Man United, okay, they have good revenue coming in, but even they have caps now on what they can spend, and they're looking to actually trim their wage bill, and they've been positively trying to offload players to that regard. So it's a difficult one. It is a very, very difficult one, and it's going to be something that Chelsea, you may be surprised that rather than, because they respect him and because they like him, if they find they can't sell him, they may put some sort of loan clause where they'll cover part of the wages, a bit like the Lukaku situation.
Yeah. But
Um,
I think he will not take that. He knows if the club are really desperate to get rid of him, they'd buy off his contract. So either way,
well,
it's a
well,
W for him.
Well, I think he has about 3 years left. If he wants to keep playing football, he's going to have to take it because he ain't playing in that first team unless something really drastic happens and they have hideous injury issues on that left side. He ain't playing. So if he wants to play football and people don't want it to buy him outright, he will have to, if the loan is even available, he will have to take that option. And then maybe somebody like a Juventus or an AC Milan, or, I think if I think we'll be reluctant to do it with another Premier League club, to be honest. But if we have to, we will, to help him keep playing for as long as he can. Those are the only solutions left to him. It's very sad. And as for that vice captain stuff, that's gone. That's gone to Enzo.
Yeah. I will catch up with a bit of what we have in the chat, aka what we call give those in the chat the microphone. Before I get to Tiger, I will let Dante be the last person to speak on this particular topic. But let's see what we have there. We have Helgi in the house, and he has a comment that reads: a big up coach in the panel. Chile was expected to have a stylistically unfit to leave. Okay, yep. Then he goes on to say stylistically unfit for this system, in my opinion. I think a lot of us knew that was going to be the case, has become more and more conservative since his injury. In my opinion, maybe AKA you could say he's gradually become a liability given how many games he's played in total for 3 seasons right now. More and more conservative since his injury. Love them during Tuchel's time, though I still think that's a good player there, but you have to prioritize the manager's preferred approach. And Histon, for instance, Kukurea, had it not been again him, you could say of late, the fact that of late he's shown how good he can be. He's performed consistently, irrespective of how you see his start to life as a Chelsea player. I think the owners would have, you could say, their priority would have been to move him on too, because he's one of the top earners at the club. But Benchiwa's case, he's hardly ever fit. We saw this coming. And if anybody's complaining how the club is treating him, in this case, actually, he's training with the first team. They're showing him some respect, which I think probably down to his leadership, or him being one of the, you can say, captains. In my opinion, nothing wrong with that. These things happens every day in football. Even the case of Gallagher, if you're deemed surplus to requirement, you leave. And if you're becoming an issue, you get to train with the, you can say, with the academy or maybe the youth team. In this case, yeah, it's clear. And I think in this case, a lot of people understand that that's the situation than they do when it's about when we discuss Conor Gallagher. You'd hear a lot of, you could say, takes, maybe opinions that doesn't make sense in any way, any sort of sense maybe. And the man saying we must win today. Let's see if that happens. Let's try and keep the topics aligned. By the way, we all love and respect Chile. I think it'd be correct to say that. I think, yeah, you're right. There's no connection in wanting him to go and hating him. No. If anybody's trying to make that the case, they're not being truthful to themselves. Let's be honest there. And big up to all of you. I'm going to scroll to the very bottom. And I've said hello to Helgi. I've been saying that I know he's injury prone, but how can you give okay, give an unproven coach all this power? How is he unproven in your opinion? But I get where you're coming from. The fact that, yeah, he coached in the championship, but you must not take away the fact that he was Pep Guardiola's deputy for 2 seasons, and you can't tell me Pep just had to accommodate him because the owners want him, for the sake of having an assistant. He understands football. He helped, irrespective of how you see his time at Man City. So I'm not sure, but you're entitled to your opinion. At least loan guys out, not sell them, especially if we're unsure Maresca's system will work. I don't know. I think your argument makes sense to an extent, but they trust him well enough to believe that he's the right guy. And if it doesn't work out, yeah, wash, rinse, dry, repeat until you get the right person. That's the business we're in. Chile, if I speak, let's see, Maresca, can't you coach guys to fit? He can, but why do that when you can? When we have Viega and Cucurella, both of them, both we know are more suitable to the manager's preferred approach than Chile. Does it make sense? No. One player that I've looked back, I watched yesterday again. What's his name? The Italian who plays for West Ham United would have been a perfect fit of Maresca's approach. Even Lewis Hall, who was never a left back. Okay, people having a good conversation. So I'm going to scroll to the very bottom and then I'll try the best I can to get your subsequent contributions in the chat. Except if I see anybody, I have to say hello to Shanks is in the house.
I'll be back in
Shanks,
5 minutes,
you're doing
coach.
well.
I'll be back in
okay,
five.
okay. Good to be back, boss. Toby Olaoluwa, nice to see you, brother. 2 days ago, was your birthday. It's past, but let's just do something for you. Happy belated birthday to Toby Olaoluwa, and thank you for telling us. That's the wrong thing here. Give me 1 second here. And if today is your birthday, let us know and we'll celebrate. So let's do something Olaoluwa as quickly as possible. Give me 1 second here. We're gonna do this. Fireworks for Olaoluwa. There you go. Balloons first of all, maybe. Okay, Olaoluwa, happy belated birthday to you. All right, I'm going to go back to the presentation window. Olaoluwa, we celebrate you. I hope you had a good one. I hope, yeah, you did drink responsibly. We always advise people to drink responsibly. But by the way, we have Jaja Jones. I like that name. Does Osimhen, is he coming to Chelsea? I don't know. But he again before the window shuts, chances are he'd join us. I want to see him, but I don't see him coming. Unfortunately, it's your opinion. He could still come. I don't see him being again. If he ends up joining PSG, I'd say probably a board signing by PSG, or maybe because he played in France and did well when he played there. I know Lucho probably would prefer a player more like Gyökeres Osimhen for reasons I've explained. We had some issue with Raul and Florent Maluda. Okay, Raul Meireles, I think that's the name. Patrick Nwabeze, that's the name you're trying to spell there. They were banished before they left Chelsea. Nobody said nothing, probably because they weren't English. Emerson was the name I'm looking for. Would it be a perfect fit I believe. Let me just say, be more specific. I think he's Enzo Maresca's type of left back. Yep. Let's see. Enzo Maresca is one of the best available coaches currently, though he's still developing his tactics. Can be compared to Pep at Barcelona. Okay, thank you for that, Patrick. And Wally Waldo is in the house, and soon I'll be scrolling to the very, very bottom. Unfortunately, I can't get everything you guys have in the chat. I think clubs are only allowed 6 loans, which makes loaning players very limited. Loaning Chile out would be, I think he's over the age that you could say you have unlimited number of players to loan out. At this age, I think he counts as he will reduce the number of players we are allowed to loan out. I think it makes sense to let him go. It's as simple as that. No sentiments. It's business first of all before anything else, irrespective of how you see it. Allow 6 loans, which makes loaning players very limited. Loaning Chile out would be a mistake because he is the only left back to cover Cuckoo. Renato Viega is there, probably quicker than Ben Chilwell. If anything, Ben Chilwell is just more experienced. Vega is just 20, but I think has the potential to become better than Ben Chilwell. So I'm gonna go to Tiger now. I'm not sure what happened to Constantine Dante, but Tiger, let's hear your opinion on the Ben Chilwell situation. How do you see it? Tiger, are you there? All right, I'm gonna continue speaking because it doesn't look like Tiger is there. So we've addressed that. Let's move on to the next item we have lined up. Tiger is on mute, probably doing something else. And I spoke for a while and didn't allow him the space to speak, but he understands. So Ben Chilwell, I mean, I love him. I respect him as a player, but a lot of us did see this coming. It's not what nothing surprise, no surprises there for me, in my opinion. We move on to the next item. I want us to round up this particular show as soon as possible. And this year, I think we've addressed something. We addressed that, haven't we? We've addressed this. Yep, these also. Today, Chelsea and Atletico Madrid have been able to advance to the final stages for Joao Felix to go back to Chelsea and for Gallagher to go to Atletico Madrid. You could say go back too because he was there, just that the deal wasn't completed. And they are really working on the final details of the story. Story indeed. It is a story. And I think this was today, early hours of today, by Ben Jacobs, quoted by Chelsea Dodgers. The report reads, Chelsea and Atletico Madrid are close to a breakthrough over Joao Felix for £38.3 million, including add-ons, payment structure being worked on. I would go to the extent of saying this is, in fact, a delicious deal. I still say that Joao Felix is a £100 million player, in my opinion. I mean, you don't have to agree with me, but in my opinion, yeah, he is that good. If given the opportunity and utilized appropriately, I think he will surprise the world. He's that talent, and at 24, he's so experienced that it's not funny. He's a very, very experienced player. I know you've been hearing his name for like 1,000 years right now. No surprises there. He emerged onto the big scenes at a very, very young age when Atletico Madrid signed him from, was it Benfica? I can't quite remember, from a Portuguese club. But that's, by the way, we have 244 people watching, 99 of those on YouTube, the rest on X. And quickly, I want to appeal to those of you who are following the show, but for one reason or the other, you're not able to participate in the show. Just know that we appreciate you. And that's because you following the show alone on YouTube does provide great value. But we want to ask you for one favor, one tiny bitty favor, which is to take a second and drop a like on the stream. And also do subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Thank you for 66 likes. But we should be at 100 likes right now. And if you're following the show on X, we appreciate you. We want to thank you for following the show on X. But we want to ask you for one favor, which is to take a second and like the video on X, share the video to help us reach more people, and follow our X account. That way, whenever we go live, you're not going to miss it, and also help us grow our X account And a secret for you, come join us on YouTube, subscribe to our YouTube channel. That way you get a chance to win at least $50 every month if you're a student. Big up to you too, Walter Moregbe. I did see that. Wally Waldo, we're humans after all. We've signed too many players, so it's easy to forget some of our new signings. And to be good, it's in the house. Nice to see you, brother. I hope you're doing well. We have a lot to talk about. Lots of plans to you can say to put you can say to work on. Great plans for the sister channel. Yep. The reason I don't see Osimhen coming is that I don't expect him to drastically reduce his wages. I suspect a PSG may be back for him and offer him the terms he wants, considering Gonzalo Ramos is injured. Signing him because Gonzalo Ramos is injured, they've been making the same mistake we made that led to us having too many players that we called at the time deadwoods. I don't think PSG would want to risk that. Osimhen, for me, isn't a priority signing for them. Maybe the injury of Gonzalo Ramos may well lead to them signing Osimhen and believing it will work. But Osimhen, for me, is your stereotypical number 9, and I don't think properly, you could say very well suits the way I know Luis Enrique likes to approach the game. My opinion, anyway. But let's see what happens. I don't think PSG will come for Osimhen, given how much it would cost them. I still don't think so. As if I knew that again, let's just say stick with. He's not a priority target for them. If that was the case, or if that's the case, I think he'd be a PSG player right now. And we've always heard from Fabrizio Romano, the only reason they push to sign him would be if they lose any of the hybrid number 9s that they have. And I don't see them signing him just because Gonzalo Ramos got injured. I think they probably go for Gyökeres. That's just my opinion. I could be wrong and I could be right, but we'll find out. But thank you for that. Gyökeres is available. He may well be, but I don't know. PSG wouldn't pay 120 million. I think they can get him for again cheaper than that. That 120 million pounds or euros. But the question is, would Lucho want him? I'd say no. Maybe he'd be a board signing for them. And we have DJ Salve in the house. Nice to see you, bro. I do hope you're doing well. Big up, Kachila. Welcome back, bro. Hope you had a nice holiday. I did. More importantly, was present for my mom's birthday. It wasn't cheap. The whole round trip and everything, but still, it was enjoyable. I got to see a lot of people that I haven't seen in a while. I think we will get a Felix, and if we get a striker, we will go for a young one, which I principally disagree with, considering the team's dynamic. We currently have an experienced striker such as Osimhen. I have my reservations about him, or we signing him for Enzo Maresca. But I'd rather we sign him than a Morodion, or even what's the guy that scored yesterday for Aston Villa? Was it for Aston Villa? Yeah, Jean Duran. I'd rather
John Duran, yeah.
yeah. After coach, how can Christian David? Nice to see you. How's everyone doing? We're doing good and nice to see you. And once again, if today is your birthday, let us know. Let's celebrate with you soon. I think in a month's time, one more month, it will be strictly for the paid members. But if today is your birthday, or if you want to shout out a family member, a friend, co-worker who's celebrating their birthday, or maybe Hanukkah, any sort of celebration, we're willing to shout them out. We'll shout them out for you. Afternoon to you too, and it's Christian David. I've read that already. And to be good. Yes, people, go check out Tabeho's YouTube channel. Be sure to subscribe. I'll let him know I sent you, so that whenever I meet him in South Africa, he owes me a lot of Ukon party beer. And I'm looking forward to that. Go check out his YouTube channel. Let's help him get to 1,000 subscribers as soon as possible. I'd really appreciate that. Okay, anything else to read here? This says, okay, just having a good conversation there. 38 million for Felix. It's a top business. Still, honestly. I get it. Where's the link? It's in the group. How Bobby found it's in the group. I'm not gonna share it here. Just check in the group, you'd see it. Come bring on the Osimhen fight. I really feel he's going to PSG. It may well happen, but I don't think. I don't believe he's Lucha's type of number 9. A big up to you too. Happy for the new season. Yep. Gabriela Marbas, nice to see you. And let's see what else we have here. Assign Marcos Alonso and make him our number 9. Yeah, he has a good strike. He can shoot very well. He can finish very well 126 million euros from Benfica. And let me say this quickly: that's one thing about converting players to, like I said, to play in a different position. In his case, he was able to do uh, the sort of thing he did when he was still a player. The fact that he operated as a left wing back player, but you can say overlaps to the opposition, into the opposition box, gets a chance and scores. Chances are, if you start him as a number 9, he'd falter. He's not going to be as good again. So because he's used to calculating his you can say his application on the pitch as a left back, then it will be a new thing for him. 126 million from Benfica. Okay, Benfica was it. So I got that right. Big up to you, to the panel and everyone. Welcome back. Thank you so much for that. I appreciate you. All right, let's hear Tiger's opinion and everything we've talked about. And if he wants to talk about Joao Felix, up to him. I've moved up the start time for the other show. We still get to it anyway. 24 more likes to get it to 100. Let's make it happen. Tiger, let's hear you. You've heard, I think you've been listening since the start of the show. So wherever you want to come in, well, we're currently at Joao Felix. If you want to talk about Osimhen, feel free. But let's hear you.
Yeah, coach. Thank you. Thank you. Am I audible?
Yeah, very, very.
Yeah. First of all, I'm sorry I disconnected for the first time. I guess it was a network glitch or something.
No worries.
And first of all, welcome back, coach. You have been missed. We have been doing streams with Matt. By the way, great host. But you were always a major missing. So welcome back. And well, I mean, uh, uh, I personally think so. You have seen our groups, right? It's always on fire with all the news and all the rumors and stuff and discussions, and it's how it is. This transfer window has been, has some similarities from the past transfer windows, and especially the window under Boli when he was actually doing all the transfers. Because this transfer window, we are moving mad. I mean, just 2 days, or I guess it was a day before yesterday, that I got to read that we were secretly doing the cheesy, what is his name, Sterling and Chiesa deal, right? However
Mhm.
it is pronounced, I don't know. And the personal terms or something were the major missing, or that deal was also agreed almost. So I mean, we are doing some crazy business this season, this summer window, and which is nice to see. But the problem is, now there are a lot of narratives, and I want to address all the narratives because it's the first game of the season today, and narratives needs to be bashed. Okay, so first of all, the major narrative is, okay, so it's not a squad, it's an army, because there are 43 players. I mean, that's not true if you consider, how many players are from the not part of the first team, how many players are from the youth team. Then it's not true when you
Shouldn't
consider
we
that.
say 42 players minus, I think, 3 players right now? Minus
Yeah.
Morelas, minus Slonina, minus
Yes. Yeah. I mean,
let's
I'm
look
not
at
even
you. Yeah,
talking
but go
about
ahead.
players.
Go ahead, bro.
Yeah, I'm not even talking about players who are on loan. I'm talking about players uh, who won't be part of the first team, who are, the youth starters, who continuously play for the youth team, and who, yeah, like, I guess Echimpong was one guy who seldomly starts for the first team. He's not a regular starter. And when you bunch all these players, then it's a number 42. And when you minus the loan signings, and then you minus Chilwell, who is 100% going for sure. No one can stop Chilwell. No one can stop Chalobah. Though I don't want Chalobah to go, but well, you cannot
Are
do
you
anything
certain
about it.
Chilwell leaves? I'm not going to say 100% leaving.
Uh, uh,
We're just hearing
I
the club wants him gone. He's not part of the plan.
Yeah,
But
but
he's
uh,
definitely
co-
leaving. It's not going
I
to be
mean,
easy given his
if I
salary.
s- if I see the history of what has happened to players under this Clear Lake regime, when when the club has wanted the gone coach, I mean, it's a valid conclusion, right? That he won't stay. I mean, he will try his best to get out of this club, because I mean, I'm not saying that he's been treated like Chaloba, or even I'm not starting to say Chaloba is getting treated badly. It's all based on assumptions and reports which we don't know the extent of truth in them, right? So they are just reported news. But if the case is true, will Chilwell want to face the same kind of treatment which Chalobah is facing, allegedly again, according to the reports, that barred from first team training, not being able to use first team facilities? I mean, I don't think so. He would want that to happen with him. So maybe he considers a wage cut for this, for the next transfer. Who knows, right? Felix is, you see, Felix is coming from, after a wage cut. He's not getting the salary he wants. He's cutting his wages, and there have been numerous credible reports of that. So Osimhen is coming to us, I mean, it's the whole problem with that Osimhen transfer is not the payment structure, it's the wages, right? So I mean, he also needs to either reduce his wage, or we need to create some magic of some, or find some another loophole to pay his wages or something like that. So I'm just saying that all this narrative of 43 players, 44 players, and this is an army, not a squad, is all rubbish. Because when you factor in the loans, when you factor in the outgoings, which are 100% happening, Kepa, I don't see how Kepa is not being sold at the end of this transfer window. I don't see how Lukaku is not going. I don't see how Chalobah is remaining. I mean, that makes no sense. And again, now I don't see how Chilwell is remaining either. So they are gone. Mason Burstow is sold off yesterday. Who else is sold off? I guess Leslie Ugochukwu has been loaned to Southampton. So that there, your one backup player to the first team is gone.
Mm.
Says Cesar Cassidy, I'm very sure that if Osimhen deal happens, he's gone to Napoli as well. So that's one player more. I mean, there are so many players scheduled to go. Conor Gallagher gone. So I mean, at the end, it would be around 32 players and not 42 players. And for a team playing in Conference League, for a team playing FA Cup, for a team playing Carabao Cup, for a team playing Premier League games, I personally think that a squad of 30 players, when there is so much football and so much competition, is fairly good, and it's fairly decent size. I mean, injuries happen; it's a part of the game. So if you have 30 players, you have that option to rotate your squad and manage and adapt to conditions. You don't end up in positions what Newcastle did last year, when 14 of their players got injured and they were not having any uh, solutions to that issue. So that's one thing. The second narrative I'm seeing right now is, all these Cobham boys being sold. So I mean, I have no hate for Chilwell. I have always loved Chilwell. When he came to play, I have always supported him. But I'm very sorry to say that from the last, how many, 5-10 games I have seen from Chilwell, and I'm sorry if I am just quoting last 5-10 games, but that's how the hierarchy thinks about things. What was your last 10 or last 20 performances? That's how you are judged. Unfortunately, no one is going to see what you did from birth to now. I'm sorry, but that's not how it happens. The transfer market evaluates your value according to your current season performances. I mean, does it matters that you are injured, not injured, whatever? I mean, if you have not performed well in a season, your value would be depreciated. You won't get the same value when you won the Champions League, right? So
I was
it's
going
how
to
the
buy you a beer, but I don't know if you drink beer. That's an excellent point. The transfer market doesn't care whether
yeah,
you've won 10 Champions League. The question is, how well did you do last season?
last season, yeah. So I
Yeah, go
mean,
ahead with what you're saying.
it's how it is. It's a business. Unfortunate, unlucky for him, very bad mistreatment. 100% agreed. That's not how a vice captain should go. He needs a farewell. But the point
But can I
is,
say something quickly? That's why I like to
yes,
have
yes.
you. You're very articulate, and I like to have you on the panel. Vice captain thing, bringing it into it, is just being sentimental, and irrespective of how we see it, this is business for all parties involved. And I'm quite sure if you ask Ben Chilwell what he wants to do, he'll tell you he wants to stay and fight for him for his place, just like Raheem Sterling would. Why you? That is very common with older players who are not quite sure about their international future for their, you can say, national team, and who are not quite sure whether they'd get a chance to earn that much money elsewhere. I think his thing, let's not be sentimental about it. I'm just That's just my opinion. Bringing in the fact that his vice captain, I mean, it's just being sentimental because for how many seasons he's played 30 plus games? For
Yeah.
3 seasons.
No.
That's a concern. We all saw this coming. I did see this coming.
Yes.
A lot of people did see this coming. I respect him. I like him as a player. But if you're not playing, it just doesn't make sense to be on that much money weekly that automatically goes into your account, whether you're playing or not, because he's not on the sort of salary that Enzo Fernandez and the others are on. And I think at one point, if we let it linger on, it becomes an issue because those players will start asking questions. How about Benchi? Well, he gets paid whether we lose or win. But in their case, in this, the younger players we sign, their salaries are heavily incentivized, which is you get to play. That's when you earn your money. But Benchi, well, he's on it, whether he plays or not. But go ahead with what you're saying.
No, it's absolutely right. And I have also a problem with all this, it's like the sentiments and the loyalty. I mean, I understand what you're saying, right? But the problem is, we are a club now, courtesy the ownership, that has sold their Champions League winning captain, if I'm not wrong, to a rival club. So, and he's playing well there, right? So it's not like he has a dip in the form and he's not playing well. Jorginho is playing really well at Arsenal last season. As much like the games I have seen him play, he was very well. So they
But
have
would you
sold
would you rather
this.
we let him live as a free agent?
Yeah, but so we are being,
Hmm,
we are not at a position as a club, courtesy the ownership, to be sentimental about our players. I
okay.
understand the sentiments. I am sentimental too. I am very disheartened about Chalobah leaving this club. I mean, a guy who can play right back, a guy who's a brilliant CB. I mean, I don't want to bring God into it, but a God believer guy. I mean, always dedicated to purpose and always dedicated to club. What more you need in a good player, right? But the point is, the manager doesn't see him as a fit to his system, and the sporting directors don't like him. So it's a no go, and he is gonna be sold. And that's the reality of this club now. Any player that is not liked by the ownership, the management, and the sporting directors is gonna be sold, no matter who he is. And I don't want to even imagine that or say that. And I'm again no hater because, well, I'm a Chelsea lover. I cannot hate these
You sure
players.
you're not?
But this is a caution. This is a caution because what I'm gonna say is gonna spark a lot of fire in a lot of people. Just wait. Just wait for another season. God forbid if Reece James is not gonna get off his injuries and try to play the way he was playing. I wouldn't be surprised he's getting sold the next season.
Yeah, I would too. If
What is stopping?
again, if I
Yeah.
am one of the directors, I'd look to sell him too. It's business. He can't be earning that much money and not be playing. It's that simple, really. But
So
go ahead with what you were saying.
and then there would be again a riot over all this situation, that how can you sell Reece James? He's the best right back at the world. But that's not how it works. The best right back at the world should be displaying that he is the best right back at the world on the pitch, not on Twitter. You are best right back of the world when you play
Oh
on the
my goodness,
pitch
I
and
love
be a
Tiger.
right
Go
back.
ahead, bro.
You are not when you're on when your fans are just screaming best right back of the world, best right. Trent is miles below Reece James. I agree. But Reece James has not been able to play at his level best, and that's the reality. And he's gonna be getting sold
Yeah.
if he continues to do this. So I mean, and I
Unfortunately.
don't understand. And I, unfortunately, yes, and I'm
Yeah.
not very happy about it. Maybe he goes to Real Madrid and his luck shines, and well, we would all be crying, including me, that what we have done. But that's the sort of situation. You can never predict future, unfortunately.
Yeah.
We didn't know Jorginho plays this well. We didn't know Havertz plays this well. I'm sorry, I cannot hate my guys just because they are in the rival clubs. I do hate Mount. Well, he
No,
shouldn't have
once
left us like
once
that.
you
I don't
said,
hate. I'm just
yeah.
disliking. But yeah,
I just want to say quickly, once the player is deemed surplus to requirement, we don't have the right to
exactly.
dictate where they go. I've always said that.
Exactly. So
Yeah.
I mean,
If you feel
it's
like they're
how it
not
is.
good enough for you, then why complain when they join the rival club? But go ahead with what you were saying.
Yeah, so that was the narrative I wanted to address. This
All right.
whole Cobham type of Cobham. I don't even want to call Cobham sexual and everything. I don't understand the term very well, I guess. But I really want to say that this reaction of our fan base to sales is not gonna work with this ownership. I understand when you did it with Roman. Maybe he was listening. Guys, these guys are not listening. They are doing what they want to do, and they're very clear about it. What has happened when we were ranting about it? What has changed when we were ranting about Graham Potter? They brought in Pochettino. What has changed when we were ranting about Pochettino not playing well? They have brought in Zamereska and gave him a 5 years contract. The same mistake that did with Graham Potter. So they are not changing anything based on our feedback. They are changing and adapting according to what they feel like. So it will
Yeah.
not work wonders if I and you just type on Twitter that Reece James is the best right back in the world. If they can't see it on the pitch, they will sell him because they have no emotions attached with this club. Roman had emotions attached with this club. We need to understand this very simple statement that these
Yeah.
guys are here for business and not sentiments. And yeah, so I guess that's how it is. So don't fret upon players leaving. And also, the point is, I couldn't and I wouldn't have said this with such, you know, intensity if I would, if they had not signed players like what they have did this window. I guess if they sell Sterling and sign someone like a Neto coach, I would any day sell Sterling and buy a Neto. Again,
Yeah.
he Neto remaining fit, but Neto is way good than Sterling, and he can do very well than Sterling. So, I mean,
Yeah.
if they sell Sterling and buy someone like a Neto, I would never say something like that. And let me just phrase it out for people. Let's say they sell Havertz, right? What do you think they sell Havertz and bring in Nkunku? Who is better in long run? I mean, Havertz is performing very well, but Nkunku is way good. Then Havertz as a number 10 or a cam role or a striker role. He has a lot of potential in him. They sold Mount. Who are they bringing? Caicedo, Enzo Fernandez, Romeo Lavia can play as cams and everything. I mean, it's a big difference in quality. So
Yeah.
so when they're bringing good players by selling Cobham boys who are not so good anymore, you cannot say that, okay, this is not right way to handle a football club. Then what else is the right way to handle a football club?
Yeah.
So
Yep.
that's a problem. That's a
Yeah.
problem that we have as a fan base, and I understand why it is, because we have always seen these guys, uh, playing for Chelsea as less as 5 years old, and then they grow in this club and they grow out of the academy, and we are all we all live, our lives in them because we love this football club so much. But there comes a time when you have to let it go in life, and I guess unfortunately this is the time for Chaloba and Chilwell. And I'm again saying I beg to God that it doesn't happen. But if Reece James is not fit again this season and he just plays like 10 games, I am very scared of what happens next season.
All right.
So yeah,
Thank you for
that
that.
was that.
I think I appreciate your input. Very articulate, and you made a lot of sense. And that I had to say that if I can buy you a beer, I will, but I'm not sure you. It's your thing. I will give those in the chat back the microphone, and I'll come back as quickly as possible to get DJ's opinion. I'm quite sure probably he'd choose to talk about Victor Osimhen. He and I, we have an ongoing war. Um,
Oh, okay, Kochila. Before you
yeah,
start, I am on DJ's side. I'm a big Osimhen fan, by the way.
you know, I'm not saying he's a bad player. I know you understand
No.
my
I know.
reservations.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
I'll come back to the final. But it's two against one.
He
That's Vic
he's yeah
there. I think
he's a
he's
good player,
responding.
but with a lot
Yeah,
of wages.
Yeah, I think Vic is responding to someone else there. I'll come back to you again, Vic. Nah, and saying, let's see what else we have here. There's a lot of stuff. 687 plus comments that I haven't touched, so I'll pick and choose. The most aligned. Let's be honest, we have no real leader on the pitch with all these young stars. Unfortunately, we need an experienced captain, and that's why we're selling a Silva. Why selling Silva was a mistake. Did we sell him or did his contract expire? And even I think he actually wanted to go. I think it was about he wanted to go. And his
Co-
thing,
Coach,
uh,
can I jump in on this one because
just quickly, Bobby, I'll come to you in a bit. And here's something else I want to say here. We need his thing. I think you can make a leader out of a young player by you can say you put more responsibilities on them. Leaders, leaders emerge naturally. Some you you nurture them to become a leader. You nurture them to become a leader by you can say putting more responsibilities on them. I don't know any other way to put it, but go ahead, Bobby, so that I can catch up and we can bring DJ on. But I think he'd understand because he respects you. He's one of your gang members. Let's hear you, Bobby.
gang members. I'm I just need to quickly address this um uh Thiago Silva statement because
Mhm.
I've heard it on various platforms at various times. Look, I think people really don't quite understand what's going on here. Thiago Silva has walked into Chelsea folklore and indeed football folklore. That is unquestionable. He is one of the greatest players, defensive players, that ever graced the football pitch in the modern game. Absolutely. However, there's a time the curtains must come down. This guy was at the peak of his powers, still more or less at the age of 39. But you and I and everybody has witnessed players when they hit that brick wall when they are of a certain age. And the nosedive in their performance is astronomical. We saw it with Ivanovic, one of the best players we've had, certainly at right back. We saw it with Aspilicueta, one of our most consistent players, 7 out of 10 every single game, became our skipper, the only person that could successfully take that armband up from John Terry. Suddenly, when he hit the brick wall, we saw what happened. We saw Andrei Shevchenko with his performances at AC Milan suddenly come to Chelsea and then dip in. It was embarrassing. It was like he was running backwards when the defenders were running forwards to get the ball. It was that bad. Look, it happens. Age catches up with everyone. And I'm so thankful that our memory of Thiago Silva is when he still had it in him. Because one more season, as far as I'm concerned, would probably have been a season too far. And the cracks were beginning to show every now and then. And I did not want to see such a great player be embarrassed on the pitch, and neither did he. And I think he left at the right time. We need to be thankful he wore a Chelsea shirt, thank him for his services, but we've got to move on. All this, as was said by the Tiger, sentimentality. It's crazy. We get too emotionally involved. I know football is an emotional thing, but when your emotions cloud your judgment and your critical thinking, then it becomes silly. And that's what's happening. To expect Thiago Silva to still be here at what, 40? Even the great Beppe um, uh, um, um, at I've forgotten where
Porto.
he is now. Porto now. You know, even he's hung his
He's
boots.
resigned. He's retired now, I think.
Yeah, I mean, gosh, there has to be a time where you've got to keep it real. Thiago Silva's what? He's either 40 now or he's gonna be 40 in a couple of months. Really? We thank him.
And by the way, let's be clear again, Bobby. We didn't sell him. His contract expired, and chances are he was the
He
one that opted to leave because he wants to get a chance to play for his boyhood club
for
before he retires. But go ahead.
Absolutely, and even there, his age is showing. There are some reports there that people can see this is probably his last season in football. We thank him. We sent him off well, and as the hero he is. He's always welcome. His son is in our academy. What else do people want? You want him to go out there and disgrace himself just to make you feel that I don't get it. Sometimes you got to let go, and with him, we reach that time. Sorry, I just had to put that in to get some perspective.
And we're better off letting him go when we have the space to, you could say, try other things out during preseason, and not, you could say, find out during the course of the season that he's gone beyond. He has nothing else to offer to us, and probably a bit too late by the time we realize that. I think.
Yeah,
For me, I'm not regretting anything. He served us well, and I want it to remain like that. DJ, just give me a few seconds. There are
me too.
some legends in the chat I want to say hello to. Mabas05, I see you. But Glenn, Dante led to us calling him Glenn 10. Nice to see you, bro. Much love. You are always at the back of my mind, praying for you all the time. And I hope you're coping with the situation very well. But more importantly, happy to see you here. It's a good sign. At least if we bring you happiness, that's, you can say, the most we can do for you now as a member of the community that we love so much. Always nice to see you. He's saying Ivan Tone is not in the Brentford squad. Ben Jacobs. That's a sign. Is that probably a sign that he's leaving if it's not injured? Which definitely means he's on the verge of leaving Brentford. Whether that be Chelsea, I don't know. But I get it. Some people would rather we sign him because he has Premier League experience over Victor Osimhen. But I don't know what to make of that, but that may well be a sign. Whether we're the ones looking to snap him up, I don't know. Big up to you too. I have been listening until now. Much love to you, brother. You know we love you. You know we love you so much. Always nice to see you, Glenn. Shout out to Amaya watching from Uganda. Shout out to you too, Amaya. We appreciate you. Thank you so much for joining us from Uganda. And I'm going to try to see a lot of stuff we have here. Glenn is in the house. Big up legend. That's his command right there. Shanks, I've triggered your commander. Also, I hear Mariska was teaching Mudrik how to control the ball. That's a lie. Can he also teach Enzo how to shoot the ball? Enzo actually shoots well, but it doesn't look like it has worked for him since he joined Chelsea. We'll find out. Reece James, best right back on, you can say, on Twitter. From the perspective of Chelsea fans, whether that it's really the case, we don't know. My boss, nice to see you. I hope you're doing well. I hope we get a win today. My Iraqi bro and Glenn responded to someone there. I think we might get Tone. It's a possibility, and given that the news that Glenn broke
Please
to
no.
us right now, I don't know. It's that time of the year. Blue Ball and Alice. Nice to see you, Jerry. Thank you so much for joining. Enzo has the qualities to be a good leader, like him or not. Yeah, I think he has, which is why he's actually one of the captains. Anything else is something I saw from Vic I want to get before we move on here. But Vic, by the way, nice to see you. Before I do that, Wale here saying, I should have worded that differently. I meant to say that a commanding a part of the pitch, I hardly see anyone talking and commanding the players on what to actually do. And I'm going to say this, I think the manager can make that happen. I mean, I get it, but in actuality, truthfully, you could say we don't have known leaders, but some could emerge. Enzo comes across as a good leader. Who else there on the pitch? Even Tosin is a good leader there. Who else? You could say, I mean, a lot more leaders can emerge from the crop of players we have right now with time. I am okay. Responding to the panelists, you cannot fault people for not loving or trusting a team, coach or ownership. They have seen perform. People have the right to be worried or skeptical. Okay. I think maybe Tiger said something you're responding to. People have every right to question what the manager is doing.
Where I said, yeah, I mean,
Okay, yeah, okay. People
yeah.
have every right, just quickly, to question what the manager is doing or the abilities of the players if they're not seeing results. It's a result-driven sport business, if you prefer. And if the results aren't coming, yeah, questions will be there until proven otherwise. So no surprises there, in my opinion, irrespective of what you think, by the way, Vince, or Vic, so to speak. Vic, honestly, I am waiting for some FFP bans soon in the future. I don't think so. No, I don't think so. I've seen some saying we're probably being proactive because knowing fully whether we're going to get some measure of punishment, which could be us a chance for a ban. That's what am I reading? Um, gosh, I know it's your opinion, but we don't speak like that. We respect everybody's opinion. Wow. Oh gosh, what a
I mean, Gilno didn't use the word mentally challenged, just saving grace. He used the word intellectually challenged. I think
Jesus
intellectual also
Christ.
comes from the mind, anyways. But I mean,
Wow.
you were actually challenged, if intellectually challenged, if you want Felix in after we lost Gallagher. A lot of people need to learn how important being good off the ball is. I mean, I don't have words to even answer that question. I would
I'm
just say
dead
you are
here.
right, I guess, Gilna.
Okay, you're entitled to your opinion, but we don't speak like that. We respect everybody's opinion because we strongly believe if we all agree that something is not right. But he's saying, you, you, you are intellectually a challenge if you want Felix in after we lost Gallagher. A lot of people need to learn how important being good off the ball is. I think a lot of people know, but in terms of not being good off the ball, sometimes you make exception.
Coach
Hazard was
also,
never good off the ball.
co- Coach also, Gallagher
Yeah,
was replaced by KDH and not Felix. I mean,
and you
just
could it
adding
can
that
yeah,
point.
and KDH you could say he can measure Gallagher's industry plus more technically gifted. It depends on who you ask, but wow,
Ooh, I'd love to address this, coach, please.
yeah, but
2 minutes, just two,
but go
just
ahead. You
2 minutes.
have to tell DJ to excuse you because he's been waiting
D-
for 3 seasons now
DJ,
and he
I'm
hasn't
so
spoken.
so I'm so sorry, bro, but coach keeps throwing these provocateurs, or whatever they call them. Listen, I'll be really brief. First of all, KDH, I've seen the guy now in the flesh. I'm not impressed. The only get out of jail card for me and him is that, he's coming back from injury, and maybe that's why he's so bad. But I'm not impressed with that player at all. I'm hoping he's not just going to be another waste of money. That aside, Conor Gallagher. Conor Gallagher had to be sold. I don't know what people are on. You can't like Conor Gallagher more than I did. I want him at Chelsea, but he was offered 3 contracts and he refused to sign them. What do you want Chelsea to do? Allow this kid to go and start walking from January, which is a few months' time? They're trying to get a deal. It's not a like for like in the in the case of Joao Felix. It's a available plus acceptable situation. And Joao Felix is very acceptable for the price at which we can get him, and the fact that they never really wanted him to leave in the first place adds to it. We're not looking for a direct Gallagher replacement in that situation because we know he's not. But, all this clamor to vilify the club offered this geezer 3 contracts. He said no. Of course, they're compelled to sell. It's a business. They need to make money. They don't want people walking away for free like Christensen and Rudiger. They made it very clear that those 2 deals were very bad deals and they'll do everything they can to make sure it doesn't happen again, which is what they're doing now. So I don't get it. I really don't. What do you want them to do? Okay, keep him at the club. He won't sign your contract, so he's going to run down his contract and walk for free. No, it's common sense.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Also, I
And
mean,
again, once again, I need to
one
repeat.
short point. Yeah,
Go
yeah.
ahead.
Just a way, just a 1 second point. See, the problem with comparing or saying Gallagher, and off the ball, we are also not playing the same system here, right? Pochettino used to play a gegenpress system. Now we are playing a possession ball system. In possession ball system, you don't really chase the opposition for the ball. You don't give the ball. I mean, I hope that is what the possession ball system means, right? So there is not much gegen press and running all around the field. You control the ball, and I mean, there is a lot of difference in those both two systems. So you can't really compare. So there was a comment by Gilno again that Gallagher was, off the ball, he's the best, and KDH is not so good, and he is the best in Europe off the ball. So I mean, yeah, I guess
Yeah.
I have also cried when Gallagher was leaving in my, ex comments. So don't take me for an Gallagher hater. I have literally been sad for days over Mount, over Havertz, over Gallagher, everyone. But it's just that I've moved on. I mean, you cannot be stuck with those emotions, right?
Yeah, and just quickly, DJ, just be a bit more patient from you, my brother. That's why I'm not too concerned about whether you be mad that you haven't spoken. People take it from someone who has rented, renovated, and has a statue at at the H negative place. To make it more clear, we are facing the Champions League today. The champions today, so to speak. A loss is not the end of the world. Don't overreact. Good luck with people not overreacting if we lose. If we lose, it all comes down to the manner at which we lose. But that's an excellent comment. Don't expect too much. If we lose, it's not the end of the world. I think there's a lot for him to learn. There are other games that are winnable. We're facing the champions. Mori has stronger than we are on paper. That's not to say we cannot get a win or at least get a draw. But let's see what we win. What the outcome at the end of the day will be. The good thing is that we're the underdogs, so I'm not expecting too much, but I expect us to fight. Cuckoo will pocket Haaland. Good luck there. He's much stronger aerially and will beat him aerially. But if it's on the carpet, you could argue he can do well against him. Kukurea will make Haaland a chamber. Yeah, good luck. I'd like to see that too. Let me. Yeah, that killed me, but I'm alive. Let's see. Bastoni will be a dream upgrade on Chalobah, but we both know that it's not happening. It's not telling
We
what
are
will
linked with
happen
Joe
under this
Gomez. Yeah.
ownership. Anything else here? DJ, let's hear you. I think everyone else here can understand. Lobo will probably get a transfer ban. That's why we have bought so many players. We're being proactive. Maybe that may end up not being the case, but we're being proactive in case if that becomes the case. I'm not gonna talk. DJ, let's hear you. Whenever you want to come in, if you want to bring
Yeah.
on the Osimhen, you go ahead.
No, bro. No, big
I
up.
want to hear you. But sorry, you can always come in, even if you're told
No,
to
no, bro.
wait. If you hear something that you want, if you feel like you want to, you have to interject. You have every right to. You're an OG here. Because if you leave me, I'm not gonna be too concerned because I know you're my bro and you're not gonna complain. But let's hear you, brother.
Big
No,
up
brother.
DJ,
No,
bro.
listen. Big up, Tiger Beast. Big up
Big
to you,
up to
Bobby,
you
as
too.
well. Big up to everyone in the comments. As always, smash the like and subscribe to the channel, as I always say. First of all, could you hope you had a great holiday, bro?
I
Great to see
did.
you
I
back
did.
again.
Not really a holiday. I traveled for my mom's birthday and
But
then got a
still,
chance to see a lot of people that I haven't
but
seen yet.
still, I hope you
Yeah.
had a good time anyway, mate.
Yeah.
Yeah, just a quick thing, couple of things really I wanted to actually discuss. First of all, the game today. Now, obviously, I'm going to that game today, and I'm hoping we're going to
Oh,
get a win today.
excellent.
So I'm
Excellent.
hoping it'll be a win. But what I'll say to you in terms of, we know we're worried about what their midfield is going to be like. It just tells you Rodri's not playing today, and they've still got a good team out there that could probably, obviously are better than us in terms of who we're playing. In terms of like saying, oh, in case of if we were to lose today, don't worry. I mean, for me, it depends on how we lose. I mean, if we end up getting
That's
thumped
the
more,
fact. That's
if
the
we end
fact.
up
It
getting
depends on
thumped
how we
more than
lose.
whatever goals, it's not going to be a good
Yeah.
thing to start the season. So I'm actually hoping we're not going to lose. I'm hoping it'll actually be a good game today, and we can get something out of the game. Better than what we did in pre-season against them. Going on to the other comments, going on to the other things, the Osimhen and the Felix thing. First of all, on Felix, obviously, I'm very happy the guy's come back to the club. In fact, I wanted him to stay after the end of his loan season.
He's your Portuguese bro too, plus he's good.
Not just that, bro. But the fact he's an excellent player. I've seen him come through in when he was playing in Benfica, come through there. Obviously, then he went on to Atletico Madrid. I've been following the guy's career for quite a long time, and he's an excellent player. For whatever reason or another, I think everyone said Atletico Madrid was the wrong move for him. For a player of his skill for a player of his skills, he's not the kind of player that would fit into a
Simone.
Simone kind of like team. So
Mhm.
everyone knew that was a bad move for him, and I think that's the reason why. It's still at the age of 24. I think people got to realize he's going on to 25 soon. The guy's got experience. A guy who's so young, the guy's got a lot of experience in terms of playing wise, because the guy's played so much around, so he knows He knows already. He's played in the Premiership. He's obviously a player the club wanted to keep. Poch, obviously, for whatever reason, didn't want him. I'm glad he's come back. So I'm glad it's going to be on a perm basis. I do believe it's a 6-year contract he'll be signing as well. So that'd be great to see him come back for that. On the Osimhen deal, listen, I'm still a bit sceptical on that. I mean, not the fact that I'm agreeing with you, Kachilla. No, I'm still worried it might not happen. Yeah, and the reason why I'm only concerned it might not happen is because I'm seeing the links back to PSG in the last couple of days, and then I saw something about Ivan Toney being mentioned as well.
Those are just those rumors you're talking about. They're purely driven by the fact that Gonzalo Ramos got injured. But Heston, I'm
Yeah,
still sticking with my argument that I don't think Lucho or Luis Enrique would want Osimhen because he's not his type of number 9, in my opinion. If they sign him, they'd be based on the judgment that he did well when he played in France, or maybe the board wants him. I think Lucho would rather a player like what's his name, Gyökeres, than him, or even the one that plays in the Dutch league that I like to. It's not that I don't like Osimhen. My argument is driven by by the fact that I'm seeing
Coach.
things from the manager's perspective. But go ahead. Let's let DJ drop because he hasn't
No,
spoken for a while.
Coach,
If you don't mind.
I've sent you something very relevant to what you just said in your DM. So if you can show it, it would be beneficial for the
Okay. Yeah,
discussion.
go ahead, DJ.
no. Listen,
But
and look, I mean, sorry, bruv. And then I mentioned this. I saw talks about who's talking about this Ivan Toney thing now. It's just something Glenn just said. I was
It
interested
was
to hear about
Glenn,
that
yeah,
one.
said he wasn't, and I've checked. He's correct. It's not even on the bench. It's not like he's injured. So something probably going on behind the scene. I'm thinking maybe Arsenal, because if we're interested in signing him, we'll be hearing a lot more than just him not being on the bench. But go ahead.
Yeah, I heard him, and I also heard Tottenham last night as well. So don't be surprised at Tottenham as well coming in for him as well for that. But no, I've seen the Saudi links. That'd be an interesting one if he goes to Saudi Arabia. But I think it's going to be one of those two anyway. I think for me personally, it'll be Arsenal or Tottenham. I think he'll go to. But you never know. Chelsea owners could do a complete what do you call it on us, and he might be a Chelsea player come tomorrow.
360.
So we don't know. Yeah, complete 360 and become a Chelsea player tomorrow. So we don't know, bruv. So listen, like I said, the only time I'll ever be happy about this whole thing, I know I go on and I like to go on to you about Osimhen and whatever. I know because we have this little debate. I always believe in things, and I think I say it with a lot of the players.
I know you understand my argument, but you just you enjoy the fight.
Debating with you. I do. I just want to see him hold up the shirt, right? Once he holds up the shirt and he's actually signed for Chelsea, then I'm saying, yeah, he's signed. But until that actually happens, all these links, all these talks can continue happening behind the scenes and whatever everyone wants to say. But until they're actually holding up that shirt and saying, yes, they've signed for Chelsea, I don't believe anything. So until that does happen, then I'll be happy. But yeah, I just like to debate with you because I like to fight with you. I know about this whole Osimhen thing, what your whole thing about Osimhen is, yeah. So I just wanted to debate it with you, bro, as I always do. But but let's see anyway what happens on that. But yeah, on the Reece James thing, I heard a lot of you talking about the Reece James situation. Look, whatever people want to say about it, I don't think anybody's being sentimental about players. I think what people have got to understand as well is that when they're coming through your youth ranks, okay, and you're more or less getting rid of all your academy players, you're bringing in players from all around the world that don't even know the Chelsea history, the heritage, the background. You look at those kind of players. You look at your Chalobahs. You look at your Reece Jameses. You look at your Conor Gallaghers. They're the kind of players that will actually talk to these players. Your Achimpongs as well. I mentioned him into that. So any of these younger players that are coming from around the world that are coming to Chelsea, you want to make sure that DNA is there. Because a lot of these players are not going to know nothing about Chelsea. Oh yeah, we're a team that have won trophies in the last 20 years. We've won the Champions League. That's the only history these guys are going to know. Unless they have supported Chelsea as a kid growing up themselves from their own country, then you can maybe turn around and say, yeah, they know a bit of the heritage, they know a bit of the background. But when they don't know that, and you're getting rid of most of those players that know your heritage, know your background, you want those kind of players to stick around. And then if you have to sell them on, you sell them on. Yeah, afterwards, if you think that. But in the meantime, when people say, oh, we're being sentimental, I'm not one of those that's sentiment in terms of that. There's certain players I will agree with. There's certain players I don't want to see go and play for a rival club because I know they'll go and do well there. You know, I think, I guarantee you this, if Reece James was to be sold tomorrow, guys, and he goes and plays to Manchester City and balls out of Man City, all you fans are going to just switch. And I can imagine what it's all going to be like. There's going to be switching galore coming at all the Chelsea boy. Why do we let Reece James go out of all teams to Manchester City? Another one, Ben Chilwell, another one. Whatever people want to say about Ben Chilwell and his injuries, he's still a Champions League winner. Yeah, so is Reece James left from that squad. more or less of that squad have all gone from the Champions League. Obviously, Thiago Silva was the last one to go. For me, I get what you guys are saying. I'm not sentimental in terms of that, but I always look at I always look at the club first. The club for me is the most important factor. And when you've got players that have played for your club, that have come through the ranks, that know the club very well, they want to introduce these kind of players, tell them about the heritage of Chelsea, because these owners clearly don't know about it. Right, so they're not going to. Can you imagine them going, "Oh, so tell me, Mr. Winstanley, Mr. Graham, Mr. Stewart, what do you know about the history of Chelsea?" Well, I don't know the history, but I know they've been a lot. I know they've been winning in the last 20 years. Well, that's all you guys know. You don't
DJ
know
role
history.
playing. That's very funny role playing. I
Do you
like
get
it.
what I'm saying, bruv? Do you know what I'm trying to say, though, bruv? Right? These guys
Yeah.
don't know
I'm
the
with you.
history. Do you
Yeah, I'm
know?
with
And
you.
you want people that know your history of your club, and that's how I always believe in things. For me personally, it's not about being sentimental. It's just about more or less, okay, these players. You get what I'm trying to say?
Here's where the sentimentality argument comes in. DJ says, for instance, in the case of Ben Chilwell, I think you cannot say we didn't see this coming. The owners, they've been patient with them.
Yeah, I agree.
For
I agree on that one.
Yeah, for 3 seasons, he's played just 30 something game. And Reece James, I think they're making an exception because they know the sort of talent he is. Even when Real Madrid was, you could say, testing the waters to see if we'd be willing to sell him, they made it clear we're not selling him. They've been patient, but at one time, I think we have to recognize that first of all, it's a business, and we want our best players to stay. We don't want to sell our best players, but if our best players they're not playing, what's the essence of being at the club? You get my point. The sentimentality argument did come in because we're looking at how many times they played for how many seasons right now. And Reece James, I think his record is actually worse than that of Ben Chilwell. The only difference is that we believe that there's a lot more to his game than Ben Chilwell. I think they've just been in Ben Chilwell's case. Actually, they're being respectful. The fact that he's still training with the first team.
Yeah.
No, and Reece James, if we see the sort of thing we saw last season, he gets injured again, comes in, plays 15 seconds and gets injured, they will look to move him on. It's business, but go ahead with what you're saying. And you're making an excellent point.
No, I get it, bro. I get they will move them on and whatever it might be, but I just think sometimes, players. I still look at. I mean, look, we all know. Look, I rather see Reece James. I want to obviously see him do well, okay, and I really want to, I want to obviously continue being at Chelsea for many years to come. I get his injuries haven't been great, and there's been a lot of fans that are actually calling for his own sake he should move on because he might not want to. He might if he wants to go and win some things elsewhere. And if this whole way of Chelsea's playing is making him get injured all the time, and he might end up going to somewhere like Spain, and they don't play that same way, but he can win trophies. Brilliant for him. I can understand that debate and an argument. I get all that, but sometimes I just think that because I get he's not been playing as many games as we like him to see. But unfortunately, it's one of those situations with Reece James where his sister had a similar injury. We all know after that what happened with her. I said it already. She came back. She came back as a stronger player. She's probably one of the best players in the league at the moment for the ladies, for the WSL league. I think, and I think the same thing with Reece James' situation. I just think, people have made so much of this injury he's got now. Okay, and I think people are not understanding that. From what I'm understanding is he'll come back after I do believe I think it'll be after the international break when he'll be back into the first team squad again. And I don't know if you guys have seen pictures, but he's actually been training on the ground. He's actually been they're showing pictures on the website of him actually being on grass. And he's even come out and said it's good to be back on grass again. So he's actually back on there quicker than people were thinking. So all I'm basically saying is don't rush him back. If he's going to come back, yes, he's got to come back into the setup again, but just don't rush him back. Check out the injuries before making any kind of decisions on him, because I think a lot of people are just saying, "Oh, he's got injured in, let's get rid of him." It's not, for me, that's not the answer. You don't just think about, "Oh, just get rid of him." I'll just see how bad his injury is.
Fans will always be fans. Fans wanted us to get rid of Cucurella.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, but go ahead with what you're saying, bro.
No, that's it, brother. You can carry on, man. That's all it was. That's all it really was, mate. It was only that. It's not about being about sentimental. I think it's more to the fact that, play. Obviously, the players just some fans just want to see their players back on. And let's be real here, as we said it. When reached, and like the way people put that on there, he's the best right back on X or on Twitter. Yeah, that might be their argument. I have to agree with that one. He is currently, he is, because he's always on there about injuries, right? But however, when he is on song, for me, I think he's probably one of the best ones out there. We know when he's playing at his best. We know what he can deliver and bring to the table. That's all I'm basically saying. Come bad next season, if he hasn't done what he has to do, then yeah, I can see the club are going to sell him, but I can see it's getting stupid money for him. This is the other thing that's going to be worrying. So, that's
Stupid
another
money.
concern.
If he doesn't play that much, I don't see anybody paying us stupid money for him. Yeah.
Meaning he'll go for less. I'm trying to say he'll go for.
Yeah. Okay, you mean that? Okay, that was what you meant to say, because you're correct. We're not going to get a lot of money for him. Real Madrid, they've had a bad experience with us. So, if they want Reece James, they probably, you could say, tap him up to say he wants to leave, and we'll get a lot less from him. Because if Reece James right now will go for 40 million, how many times has he played? Yeah, that comes into play. But that's, by the way, do you think that until deadline day, Chelsea will find a loan or transfer to all accident players? That's the fourth. I haven't seen anybody use that word, but you could say you could say fringe players maybe.
I
Yeah,
have a little caveat to add to this.
to the James argument.
After intellectually challenged, we have
No,
excellent
to
players.
follow up to follow up on DJ.
Yeah, I hope you guys
You
start a
know,
civil war. Let's hear you.
no. It's just it's just broadening our thinking, because things have changed, whether we like it or not. We're
Yeah.
on a different trajectory. We're working to a specific model which has nothing to do with the old model, and which is, in principle, guided by financial regulation. The new rules that have come in with the 70% profit system, and then the next set, the phase two, if you like, or is it phase three, which is the salary cap algorithm. We have an incentivized salary based system, which is hoped to push the players to better achievements and to give them target based initiatives. For example, get into the Champions League, you earn so and so, to enhance their earnings, as well as help them integrate with each other as a team full of their fellow young peers. Now, the old days are gone in more ways than one, in the ways in which we were buying players, ready made players, high wages, and so on, and in our approach. A lot is being said about, oh, you need your English spine to win the Premier League, the goalkeeper, the centre back, the central midfielder, and the striker. Maybe that worked in the past. I don't know if that's the way going forward. Certainly, Man City and Arsenal have no such thing, and they are arguably the top two clubs in the country at the moment. Liverpool has no such thing either. Then the argument is made for players that know the club, have been through the youth system, being there to welcome the new players. I get it, I see it, and I actually believe in that. However, that may not be happening in the future, especially if Chalabar goes. Perhaps the one player left, um, what's his name? Kepa is going to be sold. I don't know. Reece James may be hanging around in the background somewhere, waiting to be offloaded. So the one player we do have left in that regard will be Reece James, with the experience to be able to impart any experience. And what sort of talker is Reece James? I don't know. I hear he's very good at following people on Instagram. He talks to Joao Felix already, and
Bobby,
Pedro, and
just quickly, Bobby, just quickly, I'll let you continue. What you talked about, I think, about Instagram, that's a Nigerian, a big account, Nigerian account. He's a Chelsea fan. He said something to the effect of, tomorrow now, Mudrik would drop a very nice motivational quote, and and the next day, boom, Mudrik just said something to the effect of, This is just the beginning. The best is yet to come. Go ahead, Bobby. I'm sorry.
All right, yeah, yeah, yeah. I know Modric is a bit of a conundrum, isn't he? So
Go ahead, bro. I'm sorry.
I'm just playing devil's advocate here because we're in a situation and wishing for something that's never going to happen. It's not going to be a way forward. It's just going to create a sort of bad feel over something that may not have to be a bad feel. They've decided to go along with a complete revamp from top to bottom or from bottom to top, however you want to look at it. We're going to be full of youngsters who don't really have much of a historical knowledge of the club anyway. They don't even have much of a historical knowledge of football, full stop. Now, there are backroom staff outside of the incumbent coaching staff at Chelsea. There is a system. There is a indoctrination system in terms of induction. There is a medical system and so on. So they're not just going to be left without any sort of knowledge of the club. You know, you look at people like Pedro Neto. He comes in, he's already instructed. You can even see from his interviews that he is given a guideline as to how to conduct himself at Chelsea. Then it's up to the coach to create that new feel. I think what these new owners are trying to do is make their own legacy and their own history. Will it work? Time will tell. Is it bold? It's very bold. It's very brave. It really is. Will it depend on old players being there to hand over? Well, clearly they don't really care about that. But it's wrong for us at this point in time, as far as I'm concerned, this is just my opinion, to completely say, it's wrong or it can't happen because it's not really yet been tested. And I tell you what, these kids we've got here, people keep banging on about, oh, there are no leaders on the pitch. They're, these kids are all leaders. You look at them, it's just they're not yet mature. They don't yet have the mileage behind them. But nobody can tell me Enzo is no leader. Nobody can tell me Tosin isn't a leader. Nobody can tell me that people like, even bless him, Cucurella. There are a lot of leaders in that field. It's just they need to be organized, and we need to have a head honcho to spearhead the team of leaders. Now, this is where the injury issue comes in. There's no point having your captain on the injury table for the whole season. It's mind blowing that it's happened so many times with this particular player. The first season as captain, he didn't captain. It's a big concern, especially when you take the wages into consideration. It's only common sense to consider his future. Now, I'm not saying that Reece James is anywhere near that level of consideration. He has to perform. He started the season suspended, which is probably best for him because, giving time to get whatever injury he's got put right. But I'm not sure that it's going to be the way forward with these high earners going off for months and months and months and months. And the ownership is going to turn around and say, oh, thank you. I'm sentimental about you because you're proper Chelsea. No, doesn't make any sense. Mate, you're there to play. Nobody has a business and can function with all your workers, your best workers, your highest paid workers, sat at home sick all the time. You've got a business to run. Do you know what I'm saying? You need them on site helping you sort out the work. So extrapolate that to football, and it's the exact same thing. I hope they're fit, but I've just tried to put my mind into that mindset that this is a whole new situation. And sometimes resisting change is worse than change itself, but
Yeah.
embracing it can lead you on to understanding it and actually eventually seeing that it doesn't turn out that bad after all.
Yeah, change is certain, and the best thing to do is to embrace change. If you embrace change, you'll progress. You cannot progress without embracing change, because nothing is constant, and that's my opinion. But thank you for that, Bobby. But before I read a follow-up report that Tiger got for us, which is on the screen, and we'll try to address all the items we have lined up. We have a few more things to discuss. If need be, we will move up the build up a show up a beat. So yep, Brentford manager Thomas Frank. Things are happening for Ivan Toney, so we decided not to involve him in the squad. There is interest, nothing close yet, but things are happening. So yeah, nobody's being specific here. It could be Chelsea, it could be Arsenal. Arsenal have always been they've always been interested in Ivan Toney, and we've heard that his preference would be to join Arsenal. Whether that happens, I honestly do not know. But yeah, thank you for that update, Vic. Even though I don't like you, I appreciate the update. Is DJ another guy like just
Wow,
leave me alone?
they have a formidable squad already. Gosh,
Yeah.
imagine adding Ivan Toney.
Yeah, honestly. Okay, my best language, I'm not going to read that one. Emphasis on Gallagher flaws. We're not going to talk about Gallagher now. I'm just going to move on. I wanted Mark Guehi in defense, but Heavenly Lord, he is going for 65 million. That's a lot of money. And from that 65 million, I think we'll get some pay. So I probably would rather him getting sold so we can get some money and add to our and add to our how balanced the books. Namai, I'm not reading that. He cannot score. Let's see what else we have here. Joao Felix will be as a right back at Chelsea Football Club. I can't wait for him his return. Right back or will be. I'm not sure. I understand that. Maybe it's jumbled up a bit. Mark my words, we are winning today. Okay, and that's from Derek Bucky. Okay, I'm glad to hear that. And big up Keyshawn, my New York bro. Nice to see you. I do hope you're doing well. I doubt we will get anything out of this game. It will be a boring Chelsea, and we will get smashed. Okay, let's see that
Hope not.
happening. Let's see what happens. Shanks is saying here, it's the hope that kills you. Don't expect anything going into this match. I think you'd be better off not to expect anything. Just watch the game, support your team. If we win, then we take it.
It's
So
the
I'm gonna
hope
scroll
that
to the
keeps you
very
alive too, bro.
yeah. Go ahead.
That's right. Our case is different.
It's the hope that keeps you alive too. I mean,
Yeah, yeah.
just
You can
the
see it
reverse of it.
however you want to see it. Yeah, go ahead.
No, that's my only statement, coach.
Yeah.
Statement for
Okay.
a
Greatness
statement.
is
That's
greatness
it.
from Ty. Nice to see you, Ty. I hope you're doing well, and I appreciate you finding the time to join the show. Thank you so much. I'm gonna scroll to the very bottom. Sorry if I skipped your comment in the chat. I have 281 chats comments to read. You know I cannot do that. And apologies if I haven't said hello to you. I'm only human. I'm not perfect. There's no way I'd be able to read all the comments in the chat as much as I enjoy interacting with you. And that's how we operate, but we can't read every comment. Big up to you too, GFC. Go big, my bro. Remember our plan. We'll talk about that in a few days. I actually just had to host shows today because Matt is taking a break. He's a very busy guy, but he will come on full time. I love him so much, and I'm sure you guys you've had a taste of him and see how good he is in terms of hosting shows. He likes to keep it interactive too. And my boss is saying, Kachila, that's not why I'm here. Boring, Chelsea. They can all say boring. Today's not going to be boring. I think there will be goals, in my opinion. I'd be shocked if both teams didn't score or didn't create enough chances to score at least. Let me leave it at that. If they want, but Chelsea, let me read that again. But Chelsea won trophies despite the fact that they called us boring. We still became successful in terms of winning trophies. At one point on that Thomas Tuchel, people did call us boring too. Possession in his first few games as Chelsea manager. Yep. Now we kept. Was it against Wolves? What team was it? We had a lot of the ball, and people were saying, "Yeah, it doesn't make sense and all that." Do I think he starts? I don't know, but we'll find out. But thank you, people, for 114 likes. 106 people still following the show on YouTube. We have a total of 288 people following the show. A lot of them on X, the rest on YouTube. If you're following the show on X, do us a favor. Like the video, drop a like on the video, share, help us reach more people, and also follow our X account. So an update from Tiger, again, that supports my opinion of why we shouldn't sign Osimhen. But if the manager feels like he can get the best out of him, maybe make the necessary sacrifice. Jump onto Entertainment, nice to see you. Maybe make the necessary sacrifice or tweak to accommodate Osimhen. It will work. But here's the thing: somebody here who is Sacha Tavolieri. I don't know him, but let's see what he has to say. He says, "Thank you
Second tier
for your kind
journalist,
words, buddy."
Belgium.
He's what?
I mean, he's a second tier rated journalist.
Okay, and he
News
said
aggregator, not
no.
journalist.
Okay, and he said no. PSG wouldn't go on a straight number 9. Something I've been preaching for 1,000 years. If he ends up joining PSG, it will be because the board wants him, or down to the fact that he did well when he played in France. But Lucha's approach doesn't accommodate such number 9. I'll keep preaching that. He says they are looking on a polyvalent attacking player. This is the first time I'm seeing this word in a sentence. I'm sorry, but I get the
Same.
meaning. You could say a
Bobby
more
sir, what
complete
is
number 9.
polyvalent?
What?
Polyvalent means. What the hell is this word?
I think this is just journalists. We could say that are into using big words. But I'm guessing a more complete number 9, more hybrid number 9, attacking player. Chelsea is working hard to make the deal happen as they are aware Osimhen wants to join the Blues since more than 6 months. This aligns with my argument. That's not to say certainly that I'm correct, or maybe that justifies my argument to a certain extent. It does. But whether I'll be correct, I don't know. Chances are PSG, Lucha may well say, you know what, let me get him so he can help me bully defenders. Yeah,
Coach,
but beyond that, I
the
think he needs a lot more
coach,
from his number 9. Go
uh,
ahead.
how much how much I can find of that word polyvalent. It means basically, like you were saying, who can play at multiple positions, not just as a sole number 9.
So the context helped us understand what it means.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, thank you so
So
much. I appreciate that. Even if Chelsea are in the championship, we're still a bigger club than Arsenal and Man City. Yeah, you could say that we've won more Champions League than Man City. Yeah, they may be doing better they may have done better than us last season, but record in terms of what we've won, if we're going by the bigger trophies, yeah, we're still the much bigger club. Maintaining hope, keep it alive. I still hope to date. Priyanka,
hey, one minute,
good for
Wait,
you.
wait
Keep
for a
hoping.
second. Wait for
Yeah.
a second. Wait. I just want to answer that. Okay, wait for 1 second. My whole rationality is boiling. Okay, so you cannot date Priyanka Chopra because she's married, right? So there is no chance. So if you're hoping against hope, that's called wishful thinking or whatever that's called. Yeah. So there cannot be a hope. We can hope that we can win a football match played on fairgrounds, same rules, same players, both sides, almost the same capabilities, and in a fair setting under cameras. So no,
Cook him. Cook him. Cook
yeah.
Vic.
So no, nothing happening like unfairness and everything. And we are saying we can win a 90 minutes of football game. We hoping that we can win a 90-minute football game, and you hoping you can date a married woman is totally different. I'm sorry.
Yeah. So that hope, no, it won't work. So Ty, nice to see you once again. I do hope you're doing well. Thank you for that. Yeah, Vic, go away, please. Do go away. And I'm serious about that. Let's see what else we have here. This says big up to you two comics. Let's have a great season ahead. Welcome back. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. And the panelists. Thank you so much. Keep the blue flag flying high. Chelsea are not a project club. We are a club that wants success quickly. Another reason Poch left is because he couldn't offer that, possibly. That's by the way. We'll move on. Keep dropping the likes on the stream. I can't read everything. As much as I respect you all, Lucky Sin, nice to see you. Jump Out Entertainment, nice to see you too. Let's address the next few items you have lined up. Call it a day and go get ready for the match preview proper and the lineup prediction exercise. I'm not into what you and Tiger are
That's called
trying to
wishful
discuss
thinking.
here. So I hope Arsenal buttered the league. Well, we may well see that movie again. Before, listen, I can tell you who will win the league, but not right now. I need to see a lot more transfer window closes and all that. Sorry, Kuchila. Okay, yeah, no worries, bro, no worries. So let's move on.
Yeah.
We've read this. Anything else we have to address here? Ben Chilwell said to leave Chelsea. We've talked about that. And these came out of nowhere the other day. I didn't know we were interested in signing him, but there's a lesson to learn there. Wherever you see smoke, just know that there's some measure of fire somewhere. His agent was at Chelsea. We heard at the time he was seen at Stamford Bridge. So it turns out let's just read what we have on the screen here, which reads breaking news of Chelsea and Juventus tried to exchange Raheem Sterling for Chiesa, but it failed due to financial disagreement, aka the respective clubs' valuation of their players, and the issues are it's never easy to do a straight swap. Never easy. Plus, I'm not too sure Raheem Sterling would want to go to Juventus if they're not going to be paying him as much as he's earning right now. Because I think his England days are gone. It have to take him, you can say, being emerging as one of the players in a particular season for him to get the England national team call up again. And for me, his priority would be to you can say retire with a you can say a bulky bank account. And if you ask him, he'd always tell you, yeah, he's going to stay and fight for his place. Which I always translate to, yeah, I'm going to start and stay here and be earning the check. And if you want me gone, pay me off. Anything else? Go ahead. Were you saying something? Let's hear you about this particular comment. Nice to see you too, Zimsa. Ron, it's nice to see you. I hope you're doing well. But let's hear what you're saying here. Your take on this one. Tiger, you still there?
Yeah, yeah. Uh, no, I mean, so first of all, Di Marzio is not, for me, it's more like a third tier journalist. I mean, he's not so reliable. So, but when I saw that, I was like completely blown away. And I think it does have substance because when you think about it, it's more. That we want to get off Sterling and his high wages because we were looking for Osimhen, who is not budging off that 330k or 50k mark for his wages. We are also getting Felix, who, though he has cut down his wages, it's still upwards of 150k if I'm not wrong. So we need to have big players, and we are also trying to we are also getting linked again and again with Joe Gomez, who is also on a good wage. So we need to get all these big name players off our wage you know register so that we can get there. So I can understand why we were going behind for this player if we were going and Dimarzio is right. But I mean, I would suggest, coach, we should take this news with a pinch of salt when Di Marzio reports it. I mean, so I'm not too much, involved in it, and I don't know. I don't know if Chizia was a good player. I mean, he's a good player, and he would have improved our team. But I guess in Neto we have actually got a football knows how it's played over here. So overall it's better in Neto, and now we have Felix too because it's all almost done. I guess until the match ends we can get a here we go, or maybe tomorrow we can get a here we go early. So yes, let's see.
Yeah,
I have
a lot of
no
people
real
don't trust him
emotions
that
about
much.
this.
Go ahead.
I have no real emotions about this. I mean, Sterling getting off those wage book was the only good thing about it. Chizia coming in, I mean, understandable that he's a good player and everything, but I don't know. I mean, if he is the most important or he should be our top target, doing this whole swap deals and everything. So, I mean, I don't know. I would, I mean, there was a link it was not a link, it was a very weak rumor, I would say. A link is different from a rumor. Now I have been in this, transfer market, scooping and searching and everything, that I've become an expert, and I can now distinguish what is a link and a rumor. So with that knowledge and observation, I can say there was a rumor that Sterling was linked with Liverpool, back to Liverpool. So I would even consider that, right? Sell Sterling and have a swap for Joe Gomez. I mean, because they are asking around for 40 million or something, 45 million for Joe Gomez. So if that's the case, I mean, we can do that. Uh, I don't know really what I feel about this deal, coach. So yeah, I mean, it's just a rumor in my eyes if Di Marzio is reporting it, but let's see.
Yeah, I'm not sure I like Joe Gomez, and a lot of people don't trust DiMaggio
Yeah, I
anymore.
mean,
They
that's,
say,
yeah.
yeah, they say he's gotten a lot wrong. Tamida, nice to
Mhm.
see you, bro. I do hope you're doing well. I appreciate you. I would have loved it had I again gone
Coach,
through
what are
Lagos
your
when I
views?
traveled. I
Coach,
would have
what are
loved to
you?
meet you.
I'm
Yeah,
I'm
go ahead.
I'm sorry, Coach. What are your views on the Felix transfer? I couldn't catch your views on that.
My views, I like it. I like him.
Okay. Okay.
He will offer a lot. We can have, you could say, two players who are good at beating their man on either sides of the flanks. Who we can start him on the left or on the right. I think, and he likes to come. You could say in the fluid approach, he will thrive, and he's a fine finisher on his stay. He finished at Barcelona with
Mm.
13 goals and how many assists, even though he wasn't a starter. Um, that's to show you how good he can become for us. And everything, Easton, again, I've said this before, and a lot of people learned that from the case of Rudiger, who was on the verge of leaving Chelsea until Thomas Tuchel became our manager. I think my point is this: how a player does for a club depends on the manager's demands of that player. He can change. He can learn to release the ball quickly, and sometimes when needed, you can say pull a rabbit out of the hat and let us win a game. I like him as a player, but I knew at the time he wasn't going to stay because of the asking price. And now we've gotten the opportunity to bring him back, so I'm taking that. Tabidan, I see. I do hope you're doing well. Mabasa,
Coach,
thank
I've
you. I
shared you
appreciate that.
something on the DM.
Sorry. Okay, another thing. Okay, I'll bring it up in a bit. It's not true. Nemaya thinks it's not true. Anything else? Yeah, keep dropping the likes and the stream. People, the likes do go a long way. And this is Agnes. Agnes Mukupo says we want a striker at Chelsea club to sign. We can still sign Osimhen. Signing Felix doesn't mean we cannot sign Osimhen. We could still sign him if we want to. It's either take an injury-prone good player or an inconsistent old styling pick your position. Wow, that's ageism right there, and I'm not into into that. Big up to your Senegalese brother. Okay, thank you for saying hello to that person in particular. That I don't know who that is. Anything else to address here? Let's see. Yep, and that's definitely Brianni Yahayu, aka lots of name, ID crisis. In fact, Kukurea versus Holland. That's a mismatch in my opinion. Aerially, I have to say, 45 million for a banger average Joe Gomez. I don't like him that much. I wouldn't say I agree would pay that much for him. If he's not good enough for Liverpool, he's not good enough for us. I love Joao Felix, a good player, and he has experience. Yeah, he's 24, but he's very experienced. Scott McTominay, desire move around. Okay, I'm not sure I understand that. But thank you. We don't need Joe Gomez. I don't think we need him to jump out entertainment. I like him. What our club should consider is keeping Chalobah and sell Badiashile Disasi. That is your opinion. But chances are we're not too sure what the club going to do. I'm going to scroll to the very bottom. I want to surround us as soon as possible so that we can get to match, you can say preview exercise, take a few minutes break before we get to it. I'm gonna move on. If anybody on the panel has anything else to add to whatever we have here, you go ahead. Let's hear you. So I'm gonna refresh this to see if anything new has emerged. I'm quite sure probably a lot has emerged since we started talking, but let me come to this screen while I wait for that to refresh properly. Lucky seeing Joe Gomez to Chelsea. I don't think so. Matt Hummels not going to be a bad signing. Do we? Are we looking to sign him? I honestly do not know. So Tiger has sent me, about our squad depth. That's huge. Let me see if we have time to get into that. But that's very important too. He educates us on what happened. Maybe we do that Let me see how much time we'll have. I want us to take a few minutes break before the next show starts. Anything else? Dante and and Tiger, they have very poor connections right there. Keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. The likes do go a long way. So here I'm on my bros page. Enzo Maresca, since our last preseason game, we've had a good week on the training field at Cobham, and it is important to have this time together. That's a good one. Pep Guardiola on Enzo Maresca. I wish him all the best. He helped us a lot. He was incredible, beloved here when we were together. Really pleased that at the end, he took over an important club. Actually, he sees the game perfectly before, during, and after, and communicates very well. You don't take that for granted. This is someone else's predicted lineup. I'm not looking at that right now because we're going to try and do that. I think Connie could be loaned out. I have strong feeling about that. Too many eights in the squad, and he didn't have a good preseason. Yeah, you could argue. Unlike last summer, where he did very well. Gabriel Solonina, 2 games for Barnsley, 2 player of the match awards. Wow, good for him. That's what I want for young players. If you can, if you're good, go prove it somewhere else. And when you come back, the club will have no option than to accommodate you. It's as simple as that. And he's proving that right now. Chiesa is the same profile as Mudryk, but you could argue more. Let me just leave it at that. I am charging it already. Okay, good to know. Anything else here? Cole Palmer, there's always room for improvement. I know it sounds cliched, but I think there is. And that's the truth. That's the mindset of a good player, knowing, realizing that you still have a lot to learn, irrespective of how good you think you are. All right, so I'm gonna move on. Any question, anything else? Chalobah's prayer on IG, good to see. He seems to be very religious. But Dante, anything else you want to add, since you've not been on the panel for a while? I want us to round off and get a chance again, take a few minutes break before the next show starts. But let's hear you, Dante. Anything you want to add since you joined us again?
Yeah, sorry, coach. Yeah, I had to leave a bit
You
earlier.
got-
You didn't take a break anymore. You went straight ahead.
Yeah, because I didn't want to cut the flow of the show.
That's no problem.
Yeah.
Yeah. What are we talking about? What did you want me to comment on?
Up to you. We talked about this comment here about PSG not interested in signing the Osimhen type of number. Now you can talk about what else do we have here? I don't think anything else here. Ben Chilwell's situation. I think, have you talked about him or you haven't?
Yeah. Well, I said that from day one. Since soon as Maresca signed, remember I told you Ben Chilwell he'll be surplus to requirements in this system. So with that one, yeah, we already knew this was going to happen, and yeah, Maresca completely 100% said it out in the public, made it clear that yeah, he's not part of the plans, unfortunately. So yeah, it's fine. He needed to hear that. I'm sure he had a chat with him privately before that anyway, and he just wanted to obviously make it a bit more public so people don't think he's getting disrespected, that he's not, I saw a lot of people saying on X saying, oh, he's disrespected that he's not playing him in preseason, doing this, doing that. He's going to get the Gallagher treatment. But when a player doesn't fit your system and your philosophy, then yeah, you got nothing much you can do. There's too many options available in front of him. So look, he said it in public. It is what it is now. So he'll just have to move on. He can stay if he wants and try to fight for a place, but it's going to be difficult for him. So I think it's better he just said it. I like that. It's more straight, direct. Everybody knows. There's no mucking around.
I mean, kills the blame game.
Yeah, exactly. And you don't have to hear 100 different opinions why he's there, why he's doing that. A solution. If he wants to stay, he can probably stay, but he's going to find it very difficult. So he probably should be looking for a move 100%. And I'm sure there's plenty of teams out there that will like him. Salary is a little bit of an issue, but I still think there is teams out there like Man United, some other bigger teams that can play that salary and might need him. There's a lot of teams out there that need a left back that can play like he does. So I don't see him finding a club. He should be able to find a club, but Yeah, look, I loved Ben Chilwell. He was great, but I only knew he really works in that left wing system. You have to be a left wing back, or left back maybe, but more left wing back. So I knew this would be a problem. And yeah, like we said at the start of the show, and Bobby as well said, the injuries hasn't helped him at all. It's been nearly 3 years since we've seen him play properly. So yeah, it's. I'm actually glad that Maresca said it out publicly. It just so everybody knows 100%. There's no more ifs or buts or maybes. Why and why not? So yeah,
What do you make of the argument of people always, you can say, finding a reason to justify, you can say, their theory that a particular player has been mistreated? And I don't understand that argument. It's business. If you're surplus
yeah,
to requirement, you're surplus to requirement. We've argued that for 1,000 years. Yet you see people, you can say, present an argument from some ridiculous angle, saying the player has been mistreated. It's ridiculous. You could say sentimentality. You could argue
yeah,
sentimentality
coach.
driven arguments. It doesn't make any sort of sense.
Sentimentality, but it also comes down to because of our new owners. That's why it's another way to have a go at these owners. Because they think there's more going on and they're gutting the club and the players that were there, that were before there. They want to get rid of absolutely everyone. And this is a plan and this is what's happening. And it's just another way of having go at the owners. So, yeah, look, it is what it is, unfortunately. Hopefully that changes when we start playing a bit more and hopefully some good results. Because otherwise, it's just going to get uglier and uglier, unfortunately. Because now any tiny little thing, doesn't matter if it's a player, if it's the grass is not cut right, whatever it is, there's going to be a go at the owners that they can't do anything right and they're a disgrace to this club and blah, blah, blah. Unfortunately, we're going to hear this forever. And especially if it doesn't go too well, if we're not starting to get some results. So, yeah, it's unfortunate, but this is where we are now.
Yeah. Let's look at this. What we have on the screen. I'm going to quickly switch it to the presentation screen. I think we will round off with that one. This is our squad depth. What a way. I think probably Sky Sports, they know fully well that this is a topic of great interest from Chelsea fans and rival fans who are making fun of, you could say, questioning how many players we have within our ranks. They're just being fair by using uh, the language squad depth and not go with Chelsea bloated squad. I think they know people will be interested in this. So for goalkeepers, we have Sanchez, Jorgensen,
Yeah.
Bettinelli, Petrovic, Buxton, Kaparis, Balaga. That's they didn't even count Slonina, who's already gone. So these guys are still available, Dante. They still at the club,
Yeah,
all of
well,
them.
yeah, Bettinelli, the pensioner, he'll always be there. It's his last year, I think. We need him on the books as an extra homegrown player as well. I think Bergstrom might have gone on loan already. I think we know Kepa is going to be gone either way. Petrovic, we came back from the injury, so we'll see what happens if he stays. But obviously, I can see him probably going on loan as well. Not sold. I think he might go on loan, or he could be sold if the right offer comes in. We're not sure. But yeah, look, it's not that bad. Once you move them on, like I said, there's not that many keep. It's not that bad. There'll only be two, and a third. It's just an agenda. Yeah, there'll be as normal two goalkeepers competing, and a third goalkeeper like Bettinelli there just in case, and it's a homegrown number as well. So yeah,
And even if we have these many players, they all cannot be training at the same time. We know that already, and most of them are still, you could say, eligible to play for the youth team, right? So,
correct. Yes,
yeah,
Bergstrom, even Petrovic is eligible for to play there.
yeah,
So
exactly.
it's not many keepers at all. Actually, once the season starts, you have to have three keepers basically. So there will be three keepers. So it's not much. It's normal. I don't see a big issue with it. Everybody keeps saying, "Oh, bloated squad, bloated squad." Look, I keep saying this in modern football. You need a bigger squad. You can't do this like
You do,
15 years
yeah.
ago, 20 years ago, where you have 21, 22. It doesn't work like that anymore. You need at least 26 to 28, in my opinion. You need a bigger squad. 28, even 30, 28, 30, it doesn't matter. You need a bigger squad in modern football. The football, it's so demanding. It's so physical. There's so much running. There's so much involved. There's so many games, so many tournaments. you're gonna get injuries. You're gonna get a lot of injuries in modern
Coach,
football, and
I've
we've seen
shared
that the
one more thing to you.
last few years.
Mhm.
So
Yeah,
yeah, and
and
it's
can we
not
be
just us.
honest?
All
Yeah,
clubs have been getting injuries.
and can we be honest? Had it not been again the our squad size on that you can say our two previous two X's, chances I would be playing in the championship right now.
Exactly. Yeah,
Honestly.
exactly.
Uh, yeah, they were bad, but the injuries didn't help. And thank goodness we had a huge squad, and that helped in so many ways. So now we have Colwell, Badiashile, Humphreys. Humphreys has got he's out on loan. He's out on loan already, and we have Wesley Fofana, Disasi, Tosin, Chaloba. Tosin will be leaving. You could say we're starting. That's the case. Right back, James Gusto Achapong. I thought he's gone on loan already. I'm still here. But even if I think probably he'd go out on loan.
Coach, if you
Casado,
open the recent
Lavia,
thing I have sent you, we can
yeah, I'll
we can
open that in a
discuss it
bit.
easily. Yeah.
Fernandez, Gallagher, Gallagher is gone. I think this is old. We have to go with the most recent one.
Yeah, I've
Neto,
sent you
Stalin,
the.
Mudrik, three of them
Mm.
still there. And Kunkudris were Hot Chukwemeka, Kaliman, Anjorin. Look at name being
Ariel.
mentioned here. So we're not gonna go by this. But Ty, thank you. Thank you for that donation. We appreciate that. And you don't have to do
Big up,
that,
bro.
bro. You know I
Big up, man.
appreciate you, and will always do whatever I can to support you in any way I can to help your channel grow. You don't have to do this really, but I appreciate the love and thank you for that. Go ahead. Before I open the other window, you said the more updated window. I'd like to hear your opinion on the squad size. I think for me, they're putting this out there because they know it's of great interest to people.
Yeah, look, like I said, we
Let's say you,
need.
Tiger, if you're speaking, so that we can
Go
round
ahead,
off as
Fabi.
soon
Go
as
ahead.
possible. Sorry,
Yeah,
Dante.
yeah. I would just request you, Coach, to just share what I just shared with you, because that is the same thing, and we are talking on the same topic, but that's a more refined way
Update.
to
Yep.
look at it, because it has filtered out everything that has been done by now. So yeah, that image, if you can share, send it to you personally on DM.
Yeah, I'm just waiting for it to load.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I know you
It's
said.
okay.
Achapong hasn't gone on loan, has he yet?
Oh, let me check.
I don't think he has yet. I'm just thinking we probably should keep him. I would keep him around the first team. Why?
Echimpong has been. Also, it's an academy player, right? So he plays for the academy as well.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
not a regular first team starter. Yeah.
yep, yep. So I
But
think
if
he'll
he's
stay with
not
the
going to
academy.
play,
But
why keep him? Yeah,
Yeah,
okay,
coach,
yeah.
we
I
okay. He
need.
could
mean,
still
but
be playing with
then
the
I think
again,
we need a
academy,
youth
backup
and
for that
needs.
right spot. Yeah, I would keep him in playing for Conference League and maybe some cup games to see what he has and how he goes. Don't forget, James is
Mm,
suspended, but what if he gets injured again? What if Gusto gets injured? We have no right back again.
yeah.
So I would keep him and try to give him some game time and see what he has. I would start planning for the
Mhm.
future just in case. So I would actually keep him and playing him some games and just to have him around the squad, the senior players, do the traveling, do all that, get him going to know how it is to be at a big club in a first team, to actually do all the stuff that's needed around football, as in the traveling and all the other stuff, because there's a lot involved. It's not just playing the game. So I would like to for this, him and probably Tyreek George as well if we can, but probably more Achapong because I think he's probably needed more. He might get more game time. Yeah, I would like to keep them in the first squad. That would be ideal in my opinion because give him that experience.
Yeah. So if people can see, I guess it has to be zoomed in or opened up the
Yeah, a bit
image.
more zoomed
I
in,
don't know.
coach, if you can.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah. I guess
Zoomed
it
in a
needs to
bit
be.
more.
I mean,
This
you
is
you need to you need to open it and zoom it a bit more. Yeah, maybe if it's possible. Yeah.
now it's like more like 400%.
No,
Um,
it's good. Better
Yeah,
now.
it's okay. I
Yeah,
guess it's
a
better
little bit
now.
better.
you
So
two should go get glasses.
yeah, we already have glasses, I guess. Anyway, so if people can see, or if they cannot see, I want to just end this
Can you
whole
start with the
narrative.
color codes? But one of the color codes is confusing. Loaned in. That's green, right?
No, no. So that's also old. So someone has updated
That's
this list.
old
So I'm
too.
telling you,
Okay.
I'm telling you what has happened. If you can see, guys, in the chat, and Coach and Dante. So I'm telling you position wise, and I want to end this whole narrative that we have an army and not a squad. And you will see at the end of my diction that we don't have an army. anymore. So we have Robert Sanchez. Let's start with goalkeepers, right? I will just take 2 minutes, coach, because I know you have to wrap up and then you have to set up the next stream. I'm sorry.
Mm.
For the goalkeeper position, we have Robert Sanchez, Jorgensen, Bettinelli, Petrovic, Solonina, Bergstrom, and Kepa Arrizabalaga. So Kepa has been, he's not training with the first team on the transfer list. He's gonna be sold. Be rest assured about that. Jason Bergstrom is an academy player, so you don't need to worry about him being a first team starter. We're talking
Yeah.
about people who can make it to the first team and who will make it to first team on a regular basis. uh, Dodger Petrovic has been, almost sidelined from all the goalkeeping positions, and it's very clear now that Maresca is not planning to incorporate him in any of his plans. So you can set him out for loan, or sell him, or whatever Chelsea wants to do with him. So he's also a player which we won't use, right? So, and then Bettinelli is there. I don't know why Bettinelli is there again, but Bettinelli is there. So we have just three keepers: Robert Sanchez, number one; Jorgensen backing up Robert Sanchez, though I believe he should be number one; and Bettinelli. So that's all. That's all. And Gabriel Solina, out of all this, has been loaned out. So that's all. You have three keepers, right? Like Dante was also mentioned. Let's move to the
Mm.
RCB, or the centre back positions. We have Wesley Fofana, Axel Disasi, Tosin Adrabioyo, Tervo Chaloba, Alfie Gilchrist, and
Can you
Ansel
say
Mino.
his name again? Tosin who?
Oh, I'm sorry. It's just Tosin. It's just Tosin. I'm sorry.
He's a smart guy. He goes with just Tosin, but go ahead.
So here also, if you
I'm
see the
sorry. I'm
centre
sorry,
back,
Tiger. But
it's
go
okay.
ahead.
It's okay, coach. If you see the centre back pairing, uh, uh, if you see the centre back pairing, Ansel Mino has been loaned out. Gilchrist has Gilchrist is also, not the first team starter
He's
anymore.
loaned out.
So
He's already
he's
gone on
loaned
loan,
out as
Gilchrist.
well. Yeah, okay, he's already down on loan. And then Tevil Chalova, we all know what's happening with Trevor Chalova. We had discussed him for over 30 minutes on this stream, so he's gonna get sold most probably. So we have just three RCBs: Wesley Fofana, Axel Disasi, and Tosin Adarabioyo. And remember, Axel Disasi is still injured. I have not seen him training. If anyone of the panelists have seen, kindly inform me in the
He
chat.
trained.
So
He trained.
okay, he's
He
trained.
got
Okay, very well.
yeah, but he's
We are
not fully
fortunate,
fit
right?
yet. No,
He's
but he
not
started
fully fit.
training yet.
So he's still rehabilitating, and just we have just two people then: Wesley Fofana and Tosin. And in the left centre back, it's even worse. We have Colville, Badiashile, and Bashir Humphreys. Humphreys is, I guess, loaned out.
No, he's going to
Yeah.
be sold alone
Okay.
with an obligation to buy, so he'll be
Yeah.
gone.
Okay. Yeah. So it's a sale, right? So we have just Colville and Badiashile. And no Valentin doing the left centre back role. Maybe Cucurella can play. You can argue with that. And left back, proper left backs: Marco Cucurella, Renato Viga, Ben Chilwell, and Calabili. Calabili, I guess, has been loaned out. And
Yep.
then we have Ben Chilwell, who is, I mean, you can get me, r- to write that Benchel will be sold by at the end of this window, because we won't stretch him to the winter window and then wait for, selling him, because his value is just gonna depreciate if we are not gonna play him. So Marco Curella, Donato Viga. That's all. That's all you got at left back. Levi Colville sometimes can play at the left back. Then let's move for the midfield, right? Enzo Fernandez, Gallagher, Casaday, and Alex Matos. Alex Matters has been loaned off or sold. I don't know. I guess
Yep.
it's been sold or loaned off. I don't know.
Yeah,
Obligation
they're
to buy.
trying to. It's
Yeah,
another, I think, obligation to buy as well.
obligation to buy. Gallagher is sold at Atletico Madrid. It would be official by later tonight or early morning. I'm very sure of it. Cassidy, I can give you again in
Please
writing. He's
don't hold your
either
breath on that.
no, I can give you in writing. Cassidy is also going to be sold. I mean, I want it to be a part of Osimhen deal, but if he's not a part of Osimhen deal,
That may
maybe he's
well
going out
happen.
on loan or
That may
something.
well happen.
Yeah, yeah, because that's the only way Napoli is gonna,
He could end up being Antonio Conte's what's
yeah,
the
yeah,
guy I love so much in Inter Milan.
yeah.
That Antonio Conte wanted us to sign at the time. Young, not no longer that young at this moment. But go ahead, go ahead.
Yeah, so we have just Enzo Fernandez in the central mid kind of a position. I guess. Oh yeah, that's it. That's it. Are we losing out on any players, Dante? I guess that's all, right? Center
No,
mid.
No,
that's
no,
all.
everyone is there.
That's
And I
anyone.
Exactly.
think,
So
yeah,
and at the DM, if you like to look, Moses Caicedo, Romeo Lavia, Leslie Ugochukwu, and I guess it's Santos, if I'm not wrong. So Santos has been loaned off.
Yep.
Ugochukwu has been loaned off to Southampton. We have just Moses Caicedo and Romeo Lavia. If people call that an army, I don't see that as an army. We just have two players. One is injured, so one has to carry the whole squad through the season. I would argue if we were in the Champions League, I would have demanded more players to come in. So
Yeah, hundred
yeah,
these
percent.
all are
Yeah, we
these
would
are
need
these are
need
these all are not,
definitely
yeah,
need. Yeah.
exactly, Dante. So and just because I'm wrapping it up, so let's just see all the positions, because people will say we have an army of squad players in, the forward line. So attacking midfield, Christopher Nkunku, Kieran Dewsbury Hall, Chukwumeka, and then Kellyman, Castledine, and Gioran, and I don't know the name, it has been cut out very bad, but there is one more guy. So all these are either first academy players, not at all near first team starting under Enzo Maresca. Kellyman has been loaned out, if I'm not wrong. So there are just three players again. Nkunku, Dewsbury Hall, Chukwumeka. Chukwumeka also, I'm not sure what is going to happen with him. I don't know what Enzo Maresca is planning, but I can see if there is a loan spot remaining, he is going out on loan, or if there is a good deal coming out from Crystal Palace or someone else, we may be even selling him. So we have just then Nkunku, Kieran Dewsbury Hall, and maybe you can add a Felix into it. Hopefully it happens. So that's it. Right wing, Cole Palmer, Madueke, Angelo Gabriel. I guess Angelo Gabriel is also going out on loan if there is a loan slot, or I don't think so. He would be sold or something, though there were links of him being sold. So, and Diego Morera has been sold to Strasbourg, if you don't know, for 1 million, 1.3, I guess, 1.3 million.
Yeah,
So that's it. So
That's changed to six, nearly 7 million
okay,
now.
so
Yeah.
it's 7 million. Thank you. So yeah, that's it. And Pedro Neto, Sterling, Mudrik, and Tyreek George. I don't know Tyreek George how much time he's gonna get now. Felix is also there to play at left wing, and Gunku can play. Jackson can also play. Coach has always said Jackson is a better left winger than a striker. So I don't know Tyreek George is getting any time or not. So you can clearly see there are also like three, and Felix can play. Both aggressive, attacking midfield and left wing. So and
yeah,
striker, we all know Nicholas Jackson and Mark Guehi. That's it. We don't have Broya. He's going to 100% be sold. We don't have Datro Fofana. We don't have Washington. We have sold Mason Bostro to Hull City, if I'm not wrong. And we are selling Lukaku to Napoli. That's almost finalized. So you don't have anything. We actually need a striker up top. Bring anyone. We need a striker. We have
yeah.
playing 70 games approx this season. And people are saying
Yeah,
we have an army. I
I
don't
would say
understand this
we.
whole
Yeah,
narrative.
that's why I would say we probably need another midfielder, in my opinion, not up front. We've
Yeah.
got plenty of players up front. A midfielder, I think. I'm surprised Leslie went. It's probably better for him to go because
Yeah,
obviously he's
yeah.
going to play quite a lot. But we're not that deep in the midfield at all.
Yeah. Let me catch up then when I come to Dante so that we can round off after his opinion. We'll take a few minutes break before we start the match builder show. Ty, once again, we've gone beyond being fellow content creators to brothers. You know me well and I know you well. I appreciate this, but I don't think you should be doing this. You're a student, more importantly. And actually, you need support. I know that because you're my bro. Tosin isn't leaving. I know that. I haven't said he's leaving, but that's by the way. Yeah, he played yesterday in the reserve team. Is he talking about
A
Achibong?
chimpong, a chimp.
Okay, Fafana must perform. Fafana will come good,
100%.
but I don't think he starts the season. That's just my opinion. Chances are he's improved so much that probably he starts the season. I think he just needs time. He's been out for quite a while. I need a Chelsea jersey. Yeah, you can find it at the stores. Just go chelsea.com, click on stores, and you find one. I'm just joking, but we don't offer that. People, and we don't do jersey giveaways. I did one, ended up spending nearly $70 plus to ship it to the winner. The first giveaway we did. People go and check out and subscribe to Ty's YouTube channel. Let's help him get to 10,000 subscribers as soon as possible. He deserves that. I appreciate you all. Links growing. Yeah, every day. What if I am colorblind? So the color code would be useless. So there should be an alternate way to explain what we have on the screen. Sorry, Jay, but I'm quite sure you're not colorblind. Or is that your way of telling us you're colorblind? I hope Jorgensen starts against Man City. I don't think so. He may well become the number one later on But I think Sanchez starts. He did well last time he played. If Sanchez starts, win Stanley out. It's not up to win Stanley, it's up to the manager. This season, we're going to be impressive under Enzo Maresca. Temitope, Egbon or brother, I agree. It's better if Sanchez doesn't start, but I think he starts. Don't do that to me. Yes,
Straight from
guys,
the
please check
headspace.
out Ty's YouTube channel. Subscribe. Let's help him get to 10,000 subscribers as soon as possible. He deserves that. I will highlight the link to his YouTube channel again. He deserves all the support he gets. Let's see how I wish Maresca can see the potential in Petrovic. Potential doesn't right now. Lad again. Nah, I let him not be sentimental. But potential, no. If you're better, you're better. And I think Jorgensen is better than both. And I think he will get his chance. Probably because he didn't start preseason, he's not going to start just yet. And if Sanchez continues doing well, if he pushes Sanchez to become better, Sanchez may well remain the number one for a long while. Okay, I'm not going to do a 50 Cent song here. Let's see, Nkunku is fit now. That's huge for us. That's going to go a long way. I thought Coach was the only attorney here. Tiger can defend anything
Runs
too.
in the blood, bro. Runs in the blood.
Even Dante can that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Dante is
100%.
super.
I agree. So let's hear your thoughts. And we have Courtney. Courtney, nice to see you. I appreciate you. I appreciate you. Thank you for the welcome back message. Dante, anything else you want to add before we call it a day?
Yeah, no, nothing much to add. It's like Tiger was saying, the teams there, it's not that bloated, so it's good. We actually need the depth. We're going to have a lot of games this season, so we need that depth. So, yeah, it's not a problem at all. It's got other opposition teams and other people just obviously making a big deal of it. But no, we're good to
Yeah.
go. We're pretty much good to go. And I do think, like you said, yeah, Jorgensen will get his chance. He came a bit late. Obviously, he doesn't know the players that well yet. So I think he will get his chance. Robert Sanchez will probably start. If he does, he does. Up to the coach what he's seen. Like you said, one thing I know about Maresca is if Robert Sanchez starts and then he makes mistakes, he'll be out very quickly, and Jorgensen will be in. So yeah, I'm pretty sure he will take over as the number one after. We'll see how long it takes, but I'm pretty sure he'll become number one very soon. Other than that, look, yeah, nothing. Just excited finally to watch Chelsea play. We watched a lot of the other games on the weekend. So yeah, it's good for us to finally play. Unfortunately, none of our enemies lost, so yeah, it's important we get at least the result, at least a draw, but try not to lose this game.
Yeah, I agree. And Jay, I don't have any planned. I don't want to. I don't want to exhaust all the energy I've, you can say, regained very quickly. Except if any panelist has time to lead the watch
All
along
the
show.
battery he saved up in a week,
Yeah.
he's gonna drain it all in one stream. Yep.
That would be 3 shows in a row. But that's by the way, I appreciate you all finding the time to join the show. Maybe we can convert the you can say, but we need to do the predicted lineup and everything else. Then it will be hours. No, I think it will be a serious marathon
It would be
show.
a mad stream, yeah.
Yeah,
But
it will
like
be,
we can convert the preview thing to kind of like a show, but that depends on how many panelists join, because not everyone can be for the whole of 3 hours. So
exactly.
that's
And
the
I don't
problem.
think I can stay that long. I have a lot going on. Dante already knows it, and no, I need to conserve my energy. But that's by the way. Thank you so much, Jay, for finding the time to join us. I appreciate you, bro. Much love to you. I know if you have time,
Much
you
love,
join us
David.
on the panel because you're a member of the panelist group. My boss. 05, my Iraqi bro. Nice to see you. Namaya Fowler, nice to see you, my bro. Who else here? Courtney, Letness is greatness, and thank you for welcoming me back. I appreciate you. And once again, a great thanks to Matt for being, wow, the sort of host I know he can be. Even before I said, please do this for me, bro. He was excellent. A lot of people enjoyed them. He kept it interactive. Our approaches differ a bit, but one thing we have in common is keeping it interactive, and he did really good. Who else here? Thank you, Mabas. I've said hello to you, and Temitope. Thank you so much, bro. All of you in the chat, and of course, Constantine Dunn. Big up to you, and Tiger Beast. All of you, if I miss your name, apologies. I'm only human. See you guys next time. God bless us all, and
Up the shells.
up the shells.
veins, I've been driving this train. Years in this lane, there's no stopping this flame. Cause I came to the game and I changed it to play how I like, rearranged it to my own domain. Yeah, I got what it takes, made lots of mistakes, taking shots, skipping breaks, feeling lost, feeling great, popping off, singing straight, never stopped, never changed. All the squad here to play, and I've got something to say, yeah. I work hard each and every day, I get lost in the words I say. I don't push pause, no I push play. I won't stop till I make a change. I withdraw on the things I make. I turn flaws into flawless traits. I build tall, never capped in space. I won't stop till I hear him say, oh, oh, la, 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 la. La, 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 la. Oh, 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 la, 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 la. La, 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 la. Oh, oh. 6 a.m. and I'm up again. I got tired eyes, need a cup of blend. That's right, in the AM, that's my only friend. No light, just the sun coming up on the horizon. I lose track of time, yeah, I move fast and climb a new class divine, yeah, true passion shines. And I'm through passing time, I choose stacking dimes. You snooze half the time while I move passing by. I work hard each and every day, I get lost in the words I say. I don't push pause, no I push play. I won't stop till I make a change. I withdraw on the things I make. I turn flaws into flawless traits. I build tall, never capped in space. I won't stop till I hear him say, oh, oh, la, 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 la. La, 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 la. Oh, 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 la, 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 la. La, 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 la. Ice in my veins, I've been driving this train. Years in this lane, there's no stopping this flame. Cause I came to the game and I changed it to play how I like, rearranged it to my own domain. Yeah, I got what it takes, made lots of mistakes, taking shots, skipping breaks, feeling lost, feeling great, popping off, singing straight, never stopped, never changed. All the squad here to play, and I've got something to say, yeah. I work hard each and every day, I get lost in the words I say. I don't push pause, no I push play. I won't stop till I make a change. I withdraw on the things I make. I turn flaws into flawless traits. I build tall, never capped in space. I won't stop till I hear him say, oh, oh.